Hare Krishna devotees, welcome for today's continuous discussion. So today we are continuing our discussion on verse 3 of what they call Nectar of Instruction. Okay, so today is a very auspicious day. Today is Sattila Egadasi, right? So on this Egadasi, I think we have studied that in what they call. Just give me a second. So we have studied that in Gita again. On this auspicious day, it's very good to always read and chant, okay, and talk about Krishna Katha. Okay, so today is coincidentally it falls on Ekadasi day, so it's a very good day. So let's start our conversation or our discussion on Nectar of Instruction. Okay, so anyway, my gratitude to all of you for your enthusiasm to join today, because our class is supposed to be on from Monday to Friday. But today is Saturday, because school holidays. Now I don't have commitment to send my children to school this morning. So therefore, I was just thinking what to do, but I saw that so many overwhelming response for this program. So thank you so much. So as usual, before we start, let's do our invocation prayer to get mercy and from all our previous acharyas. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttaparakaram Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pricharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasate Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaye Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vignanadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojwala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktina Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namustute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Patidanta Dvantarine Nama Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupai Rupanuga Vrayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumi Nidasa Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarobhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatrubhescha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatrubhescha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Karute Se Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpadi Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Gaura Premanande. Okay, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Tat Sat. So thank you again. So I've seen so much of enthusiasm and excitement for attending the class. So let's do our Sat Goswami Astaka. Okay. Krishnor Kirtana Gana Nartana Para Prema Mritam Bhau Nidhi Dira Dira Jana Priya Priya Karau Nirmat Sarau Pujitau Sri Chaitanya Kripa Barau Bhuvi Bhuvo Bhava Paravahantarakau Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau Nana Sastra Vicharanaika Nipunau Sat Karma Samstapakau लोकानां हितकरिणौ त्रिभुवने मन्यौ शरण्यकरौ राधा कृष्ण पादारविन्द भजनानन्देन मत्तलिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ श्रीगौराङ्ग गौ गुणानुवर्णन विद्धौ श्रद्धा समृद्ध्यवन्वितौ पापोत्तप निकृन्तनौ तनुभृतं गोविन्द गणामृतै आनन्दं बुधिवर्धनैक निपुणौ कैवल्य निस्तारकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ त्यक्त्वा तूर्णम् अशेष मण्डलपति श्रेणीं सदा तुच्छव भूत्वा दीन गणेश कौ करुणय कौपीन कन्ताश्रितौ गोपी भावरसा मृत्ताब्दि लहरी कल्लोलमग्नौ मूर् वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ कूजट कोकिल हंस सरस गणकीर्णे मयूर कुले नाना रत्न निबद्ध मूल वितप श्रीयुक्त वृंदावने राधा कृष्ण अहर्निशं प्रभवज्जतौ जीवर्ततौ यमुडा वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ संख्यापूर्वक नाम गणनतिभिः कलवासनीकृतौ निद्राहार विहारकादि विजितौ चत्यन्तटीनौ चयौ राधा कृष्ण गुण स्मृतिर्मधुरा मन्नन्देन सम्मोहितौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ राधा कुंद तते कलिंद तनये तिरे च वंशीवते प्रेमोन्मदवस अशेष दशय ग्रस्तौ प्रमत्तौ सदा गायन्तौ च कदा हरेर्गुणवरं भावा विभूतौ मुदा वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ हे राधे व्रज देविके च ललिता हे नंद सुनोकुता श्री गोवर्धन कल्प पद पतले कलिन दीवने कुता गोप्ता हंतव इति सर्वतो व्रजापुरे केदेर्महा विबलौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ. So today we're going to read the 5th verse. I offer my respectful obeisances unto 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who were always engaged in worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavan, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers, which have under their roots all valuable jewels. The Goswami are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entities the greatest boon of the goal of life. All right. So with this meditation, we start our program, and of course, our good wishes to Sadguna Mataji, Skanda Balan Prabhu, and Skanda Rajan Prabhu. All three of them, the three siblings, are leaving to Vrindavan tomorrow. They are visiting Vrindavan tomorrow. May they get, because they are very fortunate. They are getting, I think they were invited by Srimati Radharani to come and visit their holy abode. So good luck to them. All right. So with that thing, then let's start today's discussion. So okay, a quick recap. So today we read chapter 1. Okay, verse, text 1. We said a sober person who can tolerate the urge of speech, mind's demand and action of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals, qualified to make disciples all over the world. And yesterday we finished our part 2 discussion on this thing. So what are the things that can that spoil our devotion when we become too entangled in the following 6 activities? That means eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring, all right, working so hard for mundane things that is very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matter, practicing the scriptural rules and regulation, or for the sake of following, or not at all, or rejecting them, all right, for working independently or whimsically. Number 5, associating with worldly minded person who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. Okay, number 6, being greedy for mundane achievement. So Rupa Goswami have already, he highlighted that these two things, all right. The first two instruction is the one. The first instruction is how a devotee is supposed to be, all right. So when can we do all these things? When can we tolerate the urge of speech, mind's demand, action of anger, tongue, and all these? When we are sober. And when a person will become sober, when the person is enriched with knowledge and intelligent knowledge and with on the fact. So knowledge and continuous chanting, when the mind and the intelligence becomes satisfied, a person naturally become very sober. Okay. And number 2, Rupa Goswami is warning us when a person's devotion can spoil. Okay, the spoil when the person becomes collecting more than necessary, over endeavor, working so hard for something which is perishable. All right, yesterday I think we discussed that in detail. It is not worth to work so hard for something which is perishable. Okay, work so hard for a house, eventually after 100 years the house won't be there. Okay, we work so hard to own a nice car, even how fantastic car also, it doesn't last more than 10 years. Some or other the car will start. It's very rare people to keep the car long. Okay, so then number 3 is talking unnecessary. All right, this is the biggest what they call issue. Because of unnecessary talking, there's so much of fight and war, right? What is the unnecessary talking? Just like a Prabhupada is explaining, like a toad, right? The croaking of the toad attract the snake. So croaking of the toad attracts snake. That means the talking of nonsense, especially on this mundane subject, we are actually inviting death. When 2 group of people, 3 group of people, when they get together, when they start to talk nonsense, some or other there'll be trouble is arising. All right. So practicing the rules or rejecting the rules, okay, whimsically. Okay, then number 5, we associate with worldly minded people. Okay, that's called Jana Sangha, worldly minded people who are not interested in Krishna conscious. And number 6, being greedy for mundane achievement. So these are the 6 things that basically spoils the bhakti. So now we are going to look at text 3 now. Text 3, it's a very, very, very interesting text. Okay. So let's do this. Utsahan. Okay, I hope that you all have a book. Okay, if you don't have a book, try to get the book as soon as you can. All right, because it's always better to have a personal book. But if not, okay, you can still follow here. Utsahan, Nischayat, Dairyat, Tat, Karma, Pravartanat, Tat, Karma, Pravartanat, Sangha, Tyagat, Sato, Vritte, Satpir, Bhaktir, Prasidyate. Okay. Utsaha, Nischayat, Dairyat, Tat, Karma, Pravartanat, Sangha, Tyagat, Sato, Vritte, Satpir, Bhakti, Prasidyate. Utsaha, Nischayat, Dairyat, Tat, Karma, Pravartanat, Sangatyagat Sato Vritte Shadbir Bhakti Prasidyate. Let's look at the word translation. Utsahat. Utsahat means enthusiasm. Okay. Even in Malaysia, in Malay also we call usaha, right? Usaha, work. Right? So here it says utsahat. Utsahat means be enthusiasm, number 1. Number 2, nischayat. Nischayat means be confident. First, you have to be very enthusiastic. Second, to be confident. And number 3 is dairyat. Dairyat means patience. Okay. Tat karma. Various activities favorable for devotional service. Tat, whatever and wherever. Karma, activities. All right. Which is favorable for devotional service. Pravartanat, by performing. Sangatyagat, by giving up the association of non-devotees. Sangha means association, sangam. Tyaga means sacrifice. Okay. That means by giving up the association of the non-devotees, Sataha, of the great previous Acharya, Vratte, by following in the footsteps, Satbihi, by these six Sat Bhakti, by these six Bhakti, devotional service, Prasidhyate, advances or becomes successful. Right? Just now we studied the don'ts. What are the things that are going to spoil our bhakti? But here we're going to study what are the things that are going to help us to improve the bhakti. What is that our attitude supposed to be with bhakti? All right? What is our character, attitude to be towards that? So, okay. So the sixth principle. So Rupa Goswami say there are six principles which is favorable, okay, to the execution of pure devotional service. All right. So, see, yesterday I was watching one video by what do you call Janananda Goswami, okay, Maharaj, Janananda Maharaj, spiritual master to Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu. So I was listening to his short video. He's telling anybody can chant, anyone can chant, doesn't matter. Maybe later I'll share that video in our group, right? He was telling anybody can chant, anyone can chant, right? He can be a number one sinner. He can be anything. Anybody can chant, okay? Because the most highest perfection of bhakti was given in a very, very simplified way that anybody can perform it. So chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the topmost devotional service, right? It's the topmost devotional service. There's nothing equal or above the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? Just example like when we do all varieties kind of devotional service. Okay, we are doing varieties of devotional service like like cooking, like what they call deity worship, then what they call like going for pilgrimage, whatever it is. What is the topmost devotional service among all the act of service? The chanting of the holy name is the highest. All right. So he's telling that chanting, anybody can do it, even though it is topmost, but anybody can do it. But how many can really relish? How many can come to the level of pure devotional service? You know, how many can do it? Therefore, it is always better. We should take advice from those who have already passed through that path. A person who has passed through a certain path is the best person to follow him or to take advice with him. This cannot be spoken or shared in a what they call in a theoretical way. It is not a theory. Bhakti is not theory. Bhakti is not philosophy. It's practical. All right, practical. So therefore, we all take shelter at the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami, who is the pure devotee of the Lord. All right, how pure he is. He is none other than Rupa Manjari in Goloka Vrindavan, a personal servant, personal maid servant, all right? So he is no other than Rupa Manjari. And he has achieved, all in the highest perfection of bhakti. So we take his advice. So now, why I'm saying this now, let's look at this first sentence that Prabhupada have written. There are six principles, which is number one, favorable. Okay, this is the sixth principle, which is going to be favorable. All right, that means it is not to say this is the ultimate principle, but these principles are favorable. Favorable means what? The consequences of you achieving perfection is better here. Favorable. In what? In execution, pure devotional service. We want that, right? We are all endeavoring for that. Once we come to the level of pure devotional service, that is that time that we achieve perfection. So, in order to achieve that pure devotional service, just a sadhaka, just a devotional service, anyone can. And it's worth it, right? It is worthy. So even when we perform a devotional service with full enthusiasm, with full faith and all this, we still go back home, back to Godhead. We still go to Goloka. We still go to Vaikuntha Loka. We become the personal associate of Lord Vishnu. It's also a perfection, right? But here in this Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, what is our desire? What do we want to achieve in life? We want to achieve the personal association of Krishna, the personal association of Radharani. That's why we are all called Dasanudas. What is Dasanudas means? The servant of the Lord. Okay. So who is the purest servant of the Lord? Radharani. And who is their servant? Gopis, Manjaris, Sakis. So we want to be the maid servant to that servant. All right. And that is that highest perfection. When you look at that hierarchy of devotional service, when they see a hierarchy of devotional service, achieving pure devotional service is the topmost. Yeah? And it's very rare. Even to be born as a human is not rare. To know God in a perfect, and to be involved in religion is rare. And to know Krishna as a supreme personality is even rarer. Then to achieve him is even rare. Or to know that the process is even rare. And to achieve the pure devotional service, it's almost impossible. Right? So like that. So the pure devotional service. So that means we are saying, so we all want to achieve the pure devotional service to achieve the highest perfection. Okay. Now, as we all going through this subject, after Bhagavad Gita, we are going through Nectar of Instruction. But as we go on, the following verses, you'll come to the level that you won't be really interested of going to heaven or even to Vaikuntha Loka. You will be just wanting to achieve that Goloka Vrindavan. So now, what is that? 6 favorable things. So what is the thing that we need to be? Right? Number one is being enthusiastic. We have to be very enthusiastic, because we understand, okay, we should, if anything that in this material world, it is usually not going to be easy. Okay, we are talking about even in our normal life, mundane life, right? Even say like you want to do SPM, you want to do STPM, you want to get into a good college, you have to be very enthusiastic, number one. Okay, if you're not enthusiastic, you can't even be motivated. The enthusiasm, number one. Okay, even like how in material world we need to be enthusiastic, here also we have to be enthusiastic. Number two, what is the second qualification is, okay, endeavoring with confidence. Confidence means sometimes, as we all, okay, confidence means we have to be very confident in the process. We must be very confident in the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. We must be very confident in executing our devotional service. We have to be very confident in the book that we read, the class that we attend. All this we have to be confident. All right? Confident, because confidence is very important. Okay, like for instance, it's very common actually. Sometimes when you go on chanting, suddenly you start to feel no taste. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, yeah. Why am I not getting any taste? Suddenly you start to have doubt. All right. Am I doing on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? All right. So the doubts are usually will come in. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, so many times, Krishna repeats this word, because you are my very dear friend. Number two, he says, because you are not envious of me. Okay. And the third thing, what he says, because you are not doubtful about me. Okay. You can go and refer to your Bhagavad Gita. Many times he says, because you have no doubtful. A doubtful mind will never go far in life. Right? Because you're not doubtful. Because you're not doubting me, I'm revealing this topmost secret to you. Krishna, we keep saying the 3 words that he keeps saying. That means we understand we need to practice these 3 things. Number one, what he says, because you are my dear friend. We have to be a friend of Krishna. Number 2, because you're not envious of me. We shouldn't be envious of Krishna. Number 3, because we are not doubtful. Because you're not doubtful of me. That means we shouldn't be doubtful of Krishna. So what is opposite? If you're not doubtful means you are confident. So number 2, being confident. Number 3, we have to be very patient. All right. When things are the same, right? Even in our normal life also, we have to work and be confident, but you have to still remain patient. And number 4, we have to act according to regulative principle. We have to follow some regulative principle like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. Right? That means hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. Okay, Sravanam. Sravanam means listening. Kirtanam, speaking, or singing, or chanting. Vishnu, Smaranam, remembering. All right? So that means we have to follow this regulative principle, okay, which is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. Okay, number 5, abandoning the association of non-devotees. All right? If once we start to practice devotional service, we will start to realize the association with non-devotees, even they can be our family members, it can be very annoying. All right, it can be very, very annoying to associate with a person who is not a devotee when we are on this path. Okay, it's so annoying because they got something to talk, something, because we are in ecstatic, because all our senses are purified, all our senses achieving, all our senses are enjoying the highest pleasure. The eye is getting highest pleasure by looking at Krishna or looking at the words of Krishna, reading about it, right? Our nose is so much of pleasure, smells the flower of Krishna. Our ears are so, is enjoying so pleasure because we listen about Krishna, because of this listening, all right, which is called Shravanam. Okay, Shravanam, hearing. That's why you're here. You know, all of you are here so excited early in the morning on Saturday. You all are sitting here because you want to listen. All right. So suddenly when we start to associate non-devotees, we can be very annoying, right? And number 6 is following the footstep of previous acharya. That's very important. So we do not we do not need to reinvent the wheel. They have already invented the wheel, right? The tire, they have already invented the wheel. We don't need to reinvent again. So we just simply follow the footstep. The wheel has to be round, we just make it round. Don't try to be clever, want to make it into other shapes. Okay, it doesn't move. Okay, so like that. So this is the 6th process. So these 6 principles, okay, what Grupa undoubtedly assure, okay, complete success of pure devotional service. So now we're going to unveil the secret. Hey, you might be thinking, hey, I'm doing this in my normal life, enthusiasm, confident, patient, and I follow the principle. Hey, okay, but how this thing? So that's why the purpose is going to explain to you systematically how by practicing these 6 things we can achieve undoubtedly. All right, Prabhupada also says there's no doubt about it. And assures means what? It's a guarantee. All right. Say like for instance, we are taking insurance. What we call assurance. Why you are taking life insurance? Because it's an assurance. If anytime if I'm going to fall sick, I'm assured. If I go to any private hospital, I just do not need to queue up in government. I just go to the private. I show the medical card. I'm assured of treatment. I'm assured. So there's no worry about it. So that means it's the same thing. Assure. So that means it is assured. That means it's given. When the time comes, you will get it. Assure. Undoubtedly assure. Complete success. Then the Prabhupada is not, the Rupa Goswami is not talking about partial success or maybe first step into the path of success. No, complete success. Okay, of what? Of pure devotional service. We can achieve the highest perfection of pure devotional service. Okay, so we're going to go through this, but one humble request: please go on reading this again and again and again until you can remember it by heart. Okay, let's look at the purpose. Devotional service is not, okay, devotional service is not a matter of sentimental. As I say just now, devotional service, it is not the matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Okay, so devotional service is not a matter of sentimental. Oh, I'm so sentimentally attached to God, you know. So there's no kind of sentimental or imaginative ecstasy. Right? And sometimes like somebody they need to take drugs in order to be very to go into ecstasy. So it's not that. Okay, again, devotional service is not a matter of sentimental and not imagination. Okay, it is substance, and substance is practical activity. So we have to be very practical You have to practice it. Okay, it's a practical activity. And Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, this is the book that we're going to study. Maybe after we finish Bhakti Aloka. So when you go to Bhagavad Gita, we decide. All right. After that, whether depends on all of you. Depends on your accuracy, how you are reciprocating with me. Like we see that Mataji, what they call from Chennai, Madhumita, she keeps sharing what's the takeaway, what she have learned. All right, if everybody can do that, and I start to when I start to realize that you are relishing it, then we can go to devotional, nectar of devotion. If not, we go to Bhagavad Gita. All right, depends on how you reciprocate. All right. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is also called as nectar of devotion. It's also part of our study book. Okay, we're going to study that. Okay. So Sri Rupa Goswami in this book called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 11 has defined the devotional service as follows. This is a very, very important verse. Okay. And of course, it's also advisable that everyone to memorize this verse. Okay. This verse is worth memorizing. Okay. So what are the things? Right. So Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Jnana Karmadya Navirtam. Anukulyena Krishnanu. Shilanam Bhaktir Uttamam. Uttamam. Shilanam Bhaktir Uttamam. Bhaktir Uttamam means unalloyed devotional service or pure devotional service. Okay, again, Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Jnana Karmadya Navirtam. Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttamam. So here it says Uttama Bhakti, right? Which is also called unalloyed devotion. Okay. Unto the Supreme Lord of Godhead Sri Krishna involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. Right? So we have to engage in devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord, not imagining the way that you want to worship him, or not by sentimental. All right, these devotional service should be what? Free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma. Okay, or impersonal jnana and all other selfish desire. Okay, now you all get it? So what it says here, number one, so the Uttama Bhakti or unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme is involve rendering devotional service, number one. Right? It involves rendering of devotional service. Okay. Number two, it should be favorable to the Lord. So it cannot be imagining, right? Oh, I think Krishna like it because I like to serve Krishna, right? It depends. You know, oh, you no. Okay, like example, no, I think Krishna will love durian. Krishna created durian. Okay, but Krishna created durian. So I think I would like to give. I say no, but durian is more of it. No, I don't believe in that. Okay, I know my Krishna, my baby, my children, my Bablu, he will love durian. That is imagination or sentimental, right? So you must understand. And the devotional service should be free. That means should be free from what? From extraneous motive. That means you don't have any other motive which is, and also devoid of fruitive karma. I'm doing this because I want to achieve something. When you have a transaction with Krishna, Krishna will remain as a transaction. Example, when a person wants to do good deeds, okay, now I want to do good deeds, okay, I want to feed the poor, I want to build a hospital, and I want to, you know, like now the flood season, and I want to give them shelter, I want to give them blanket and all these kind of things. So what do? You give, of course, you get propaganda. You make a propaganda. So then end of the day, you will be recognized as the citizen of the country who have done so many good things. Okay. Then after that, what happened? You will be granted this thing called datoship or any other national award, like in India, Padma Shri and all these kind of things. So you'll be given. So after you receive that award, okay, when the person dies, is it that is considered all the good deeds he has done? Is he going to save him? No, because it's already a transaction. I did my good deeds and I've already got rewarded. Krishna says, I've already rewarded you. You have given a Datoship, you have got a Tansri ship, you got Padma Bhushan, Padma Sri, all whatever Sri that you want, everything is given to you already. What else is already done? So you must always remember, when we want to do something in favor to Krishna, and we want to do in a fruitive karma, fruitive activity for some kind of achievement in life, there is no bhakti. It's already a transaction. You ask, you satisfied me, and I given to you. That's it. Okay, I give it to you. Okay, like Ravana. Ravana, he meditated so much to Lord Shiva, and he got the boon. So what is that boon? That he cannot be killed by any kind of person. Right? He's super powerful. And secondly, and he's so dear to Lord Shiva. Whenever he think about Lord Shiva, when he called Lord Shiva will appear. He was that close. So when this human being, all right, Lord Krishna as a form of Ramachandra came in the human form, he was terrorizing. I mean, he was like killing all his soldiers. And some or other, Ravana became doubtful. I was thinking, okay, he started to see the possibility of losing the war. So what he did, he called upon Lord Shiva. He called upon Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva appeared. Yes, I want you to protect me again from this human being called Ramachandra. And Lord Shiva says, no, that I cannot do for you. I cannot do this for you. You can ask anything you want. But this thing, I can't do this. Because it's already a transaction. You please me and I save you. You please me, I give you. Right? So it's like that. So there's just like sometimes when we have a relationship with a policeman, right? So as long as you bribe the flirt, as long as you keep him happy, he will stay. But when the time comes, when you can't do anything further, that's it. There's no more transaction. It's over. Okay? So divide of fruitive karma is very important, right? Another thing is impersonal jnana. All right, we want to achieve Krishna and we want to know, after you are learning all this knowledge, oh, you read Bhagavad Gita and everything, but after the end of the day, you come to the conclusion. The person inside Krishna is speaking to the person inside Arjuna. That's how the Mayavadi interprets. The person inside Krishna, the Jyoti, and the person inside the thing. So they just create a body, the form, and they discuss it. After learning all these things, impersonal jnana. And of course, another thing is with any other selfish desire. When we have any other selfish desire, so we have to be devoid. Okay, we have to be devoid all this. You must understand, Krishna is our father, and he knows. And Krishna, once we surrender to Krishna, when we are under the protection of Daivi Prakriti, okay, the divine nature, we studied that, right? Divine nature. So, do you think that God will put you in dilemma, in agony? All right. Once you become a devotee, do you think you'll be a pauper? Krishna will take everything away from you, your house, your property, and everything. You only will have one dress, one shirt, and one pant, and you will loitering the street. Do you think that Krishna will do that? All right. When we are in a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, actually, we do not need to ask anything. Because you are granted more than you can ask for by default. You can because like say for instance like when you become the prince, all right, or when you are very close to this what they call to Krishna, to the king, you do not need to ask, oh king, give me this, give me that. No, right? When the king comes and sees that you are not comfortable, he gives you, right? Like the story of what do you call? In Tamil we call Kushela. In Sanskrit we call Sudama. Sudama, right? Oh, what is the story of Sudama?
Sudama, yes. Vipra.
Huh?
Vipra Sudama.
Yeah, Vipra Sudama. Okay. So Sudama was so poor. He was Krishna's classmate. The wife tell, can you go and ask Krishna something? At least get something that, we are struggling. We don't have food to eat. Can you please ask him? And Sudama will be very reluctant. Very reluctant. No, he'll have a torn dhoti cloth and he looks so he looks so not
Yeah,
properly
busy.
maintained. Huh?
Hello.
Yes, Prabhu.
So,
All right. So that means he's like he looked haggard. So when he came to see Krishna, definitely Krishna noticed that, hey, how come my friend is haggard? Right? And he could understand that he has not eaten, and he understood that he is very poor. But after that, he asked, "What have you brought for me?" And he says, "Well, he just opened up from his wet, damp dhoti, some cheap rice. Just this much of cheap rice. Only that he could afford. Only that he had." They say, but and it's damped, by sweat and by rain and everything. When you open, and Krishna says, "Wow, you brought me a cheap rice," and he took it. Say, "Krishna, don't!" He put it into the mouth. Then after that, then again take second one, and of course, this is what they call Rukmini Devi will stop Krishna. Say, "Don't take anything, not enough. If you're going to take another one mouth, another serving, we all have to move to his house, right?" Then after that, he served him and everything, and even Sudama forget to ask what he came for. When he went back to his village, suddenly he saw a huge palace, right? A big, beautiful house, bedecked with jewel and everything. And from inside, suddenly he saw one beautiful lady waving at him, all right? As she's as pretty as Lakshmi, waving at him she's full of jewel and everything. So he went there. He said, "Am I came to the wrong place?" He said, "Yeah, this is the village, and this is my hut supposed to be. Where's my hut? And who is the lady waving at me?" And she come running after him. See, and he get a shock. "Hey, who are you?" He said, "No, my dear husband, it's me." I said, "What happened?" "Just a little cheap price that you have given to Lord Krishna, and Krishna so satisfied, gave everything for us." Right? Technically, little cheap price. But when we really look at this, it is not just matter of one cheap price. It's the matter of how much Krishna reciprocated. Krishna understood. He will say, "Okay, you go to the level until you can't take it. When Krishna gives, your two hand can't take. Your two hand can't hold it. Right? Your two hand is not so." So when you really think about it, right? When you really think about it, when you are in relationship with personality of Godhead, we do not waste our merit, right? So just imagine you are given 5 tokens. Have you watched this thing? Who wants to be a millionaire? You know, that's a game show, right? Who wants to be a millionaire? So they give you a few tokens. One is you can ask the audience. Second thing, you have to remove the 4 options. You can remove the 2 options. Number 3, the third option is you can call your whoever to ask for the this thing. So I think 3 options, right? So like that, you are given the precious 3 options, right? And you can use it anytime. So we do not waste it. We just simply depend on Krishna. Krishna will take care of everything. So this is the ultimate thing we call, all right? The verse is Anya Bilashita Shunyam, all right? Jnana Karmadi Anarvitam. Jnana means speculative. Karma means activity. Anarvitam, remove it. Anukulyena Krishna Anu, all right? That means Sheelanam Bhaktir Uttamam. Uttama Bhakti or unalloyed devotional service. Sorry, I'm having a running nose. So Uttama Bhakti or unalloyed devotional service under the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. So these devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal jnana, and all other kind of selfish desire. Now, so now Prabhupada is continuing. Okay, now he's saying, what is this? Bhakti is a sort of cultivation. Cultivation means what? What do you cultivate? We cultivate plants. Yes, we put the seed and we cultivate the plant. That means what? So we just grow it slowly and easy. Okay, so it's a sort of cultivation. Okay, as soon as we say the word cultivation, we must refer to activity. Okay, cultivation of spirituality does not mean sitting down idly for meditation. You got it? So cultivation of spirituality is not doesn't mean that you sit in one place, close your eyes, and start meditating idly. It doesn't work that way. That means cultivation of spiritual does not mean sitting down idly for meditation, as some pseudo yogis teach. Pseudo yogis, all right? Some kind of bogus yogi teach. Oh, you sit and meditate, everything should be fine. No, it doesn't work that way. Such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service. Okay, it can be good for those people who don't have any information of devotional service. All right. For this reason, is sometimes recommended the way checking distracting material activities. All right. So what does that mean? Okay, now I need to highlight this thing word. Okay. So this is the word here. Okay, check. So what is it? What Prabhupada is saying very nicely said. He said that those who have no information about devotional service, okay, sometimes this is recommended. What? Meditation is recommended for what? To check. To check means what? To slow down, right? Sometimes we say check on him. Check on him means go and check what he's doing, what is happening. So to check on whatever your this thing, for what? Check to distract materialistic activity. That means to reduce your materialistic activity. When you sit in one place and close your eyes and meditate, at least you are not engaging yourself in materialistic activity, because the materialistic activity is actually, all right, not materialistic sense gratification activity is actually a biggest curse in human society. Okay, from me sitting and watching movie, I rather from me going to the cinema to watch a movie, I rather sit in one place and start to meditate. It is still better to meditate than visiting a cinema, right? So to check the distracting material activities. Okay, so meditation means what? Stopping all nonsensical activity. All right, meditation means you're stopping all nonsensical activity, at least for the time being. At least for that time being. All right, but after that, Prabhupada continues. But devotional service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities. So that means when we practice devotional service, we are putting a full stop to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engage one to a meaningful devotional activities. All right. So our devotional activities has to be meaningful. It is not sentimental and it's not imagination. It has to have meaning, right? So what is that meaningful activity? Sri Prahlad Maharaj recommends. Who's Prahlad Maharaj? Prahlad Maharaj is the one, okay, when the son of Hiranyakasipu, okay, the father wanted to kill him because he always worshipped Narayana, and just to protect him, the Lord took the form of Lord Narasingha Dev. Okay, he came in the form of Narasimhan to protect this Prahlad Maharaj. So in Canto 5, Prahlad Maharaj recommends how a meaningful devotional service should look like. Okay, please pay attention to this. If you have a book, please open to this place and try to put a star. Okay, you just put a star there, so that says that you have to pay a, what they call? Okay, you just can put a star like this. Okay, on your page, put a star. So that means you understand that you have to really pay attention to this verse. Okay, what it says? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. All right, this is called the 9 process of devotional service. Right, the 9 process of devotional service. Okay, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Right, Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. So what is the 9 process of devotional service? Okay, it's as follows. Okay, number 1, hearing the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, number 1. What is number 1? Shravanam. So Shravanam means, okay, number 1, the first process, when we want to start the path of bhakti, the first step is hearing the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of God. That's what all of you are doing. First, you all started with Gita Gyan. When you start to hear the name and also the glories of the Supreme Personality, somehow or other, there's a kind of faith that started in your heart. And through that faith in your heart, you start to become addictive. You want to hear more and more about God. And that's why and not only that, even for me, even there was a devotee told me, not to do this class on a daily basis. You can concentrate on something else. Even you can have your own life. Right? There's even like my family, siblings, and all. They say, why are you doing class every single day? Right? It's not for anything else, because it gives me so much of pleasure. And I believe that all of you also getting so much of pleasure listening to that. All right? Because I am not giving my opinion. I'm simply reading from here and I'm just speaking, sharing with you. That's it. Nothing of this my opinion. So hearing. So the first step that what we do is we hear the name and glories of the Supreme. That's what we are doing. So after hearing, so you start to create a little faith, right? So we only hear 2 hours a day from 9 to 11 or 11:30 every day. But after that, you still want to continue that feeling, the feel-good feeling, the good feeling of the Lord. So number 2, what is recommended, chanting His glories, right? So, what they call? Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, right? So chanting His glories. So chanting His glories means what? You chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What is Hare? The Radharani, the Supreme Goddess, the internal potency of the Lord, the Ladini Shakti, right? Hare, who is control Krishna, control Krishna's love potency, all right? And who is Krishna? The most attractive one, the most good-looking one, right? Because we always like to see good-looking people, yes or not? We always like to see beautiful things, yes or not? That's why wherever you are, say like for Malaysia, you're staying, sometimes we like to go to Cameron Highland. We want to go to that place where I see all greenery, right? We want to feel good. We want to see all beautiful. Oh, look at that mountain, all right? And people love to stay near the hills, near the hill station. And they like to go to this kind of place like Darjeeling, Ooty, Simla, right? Or Switzerland, because they want to see beautiful things there. Because that's the nature of human being. And after that, secondly, they also want to indulge in what they call pleasure. They want pleasure. So how the karmi takes pleasure? They take pleasure by drinking alcohol. They feel so good. The karmi they take pleasure by associating with what they call unchaste women, right? They take pleasure of meeting and associating with unchaste women, and of course they take pleasure of eating all kind of nonsense to satisfy the tongue. They like to go to concert and listen to some A.R. Rahman music, right? Some kind of song to satisfy the ears. So like that. But here, so every one of us are naturally inclined to that. But this Maha Mantra is, when Hare Krishna means the Ladini Shakti, the Supreme Person, this thing, the Krishna is all beauty, and Rama means reservoir of pleasure. What pleasure? Spiritual pleasure, which is beyond word, which is even a person only can experience it. Example, that I have not eaten sugar in my life. How are you going to describe the taste of sugar? All right, I can't taste it. So you need to take a sugar and throw into my mouth and say, suck it. Oh, this is sugar, right? You have to experience it. So the reservoir, the most beautiful one, and the reservoir of pleasure, Rama, Abhiram. And who's in charge? Srimadi Radharani, Hare, Ladini Shakti, the internal potency is in charge. So we are begging, chanting His glories. Oh, Mother, can you just give me a drop of that pleasure? Can you give me a drop of that vision of that most beautiful one? All right. By doing that, just even a drop, you take a drop and dilute into a 1,000 gallons of water. Example, you just take a drop of that ambrosia and you mix in a big 1,000 gallons of water, and you even take that one drop from that diluted thing, you experience, you will go into madness, you go into crazy ecstasy. So that's why we are chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The chanting of the holy name, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, can take you to the highest. Actually, that's what I was about to say just now, but I was, of course, because my maid was like cleaning and all the dust flew up and I went into sneezing. I couldn't say anything. So That's why that what they call Janananda Goswami says everybody can chant, but only a pure one. But once we become only rarely people become perfect in chanting. So the perfection in chanting will happen when we accumulate enough conviction. Okay, when we accumulate enough taste. All right, that's what we're going to study now. Okay, so number 2 is first is hearing the name and glories. You are hearing, and number 2, now all of you start chanting. Okay, we have devotees who are chanting 64 rounds every day. Right? We have devotees who are chanting 50 rounds. We have devotees who are chanting 30 rounds, 20 rounds, 16 rounds. All right. And also we have a devotee who is chanting 1 or 2 rounds. But doesn't matter. From doing nothing, at least 1, 2 rounds, still better. But what I'm saying is, today is Ekadasi. Those who have not chanted or those who have struggled to chant, try 16 today. And those who do 16, try to go 24 today. Those who do 24, try to go 32 today. All right. So try to improve, because today is Ekadasi day, and on this day, this is all is possible. Number 3, remembering the Lord. How you remember the Lord. All right, that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. All right, the opulence of the absolute. Right, I am the taste of the water. I am the strength in a man. Remember, we have studied that, right? I am the taste of water. When you see a man's energy, when they can carry heavy things, I am the strength in them. Right? I am this, I am that. So we can remember the Lord in many ways, in all varieties of pastime. That's why we need to study. We remember all the pastime of the Lord. Serving the Lord, Lord's feet, right? Worshipping the deities, offering obeisances. All right. That's why Krishna says, Man mana bhavat bhakto mad yajimam namaskuru. Mahamesha yuktayam atmana mad parayana. What is that? Always, always worship me. Pay obeisance to me, being absorbed in me, you will come to me, right? That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So offering obeisances unto the Lord. First thing you wake up in the morning, all right? Before first thing you wake up in the morning, you pay obeisances. You get up from the bed, just pay obeisances. My dear Lord, please accept my obeisances unto you. My dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances unto you. Then, after that, you go take your bath and everything. You go in front of the deity altar. You just pay obeisances again. Okay. Then after that, before you leave your house, you pay obeisances again to the altar, to the deities. Then after that, you go out, you come back home, immediately you offer your obeisances to the Lord. Right? And at that noon, before you take your lunch, offer your obeisances. After you take it, like that, you go on offering obeisance to the Lord. Because offering obeisance to the Lord is so auspicious. That subject we're going to study in detail, offering obeisances in Nectar of Devotion. How important offering obeisances to the Lord, all right? We're going to study that, okay? Then number 7 is acting as Lord's servant. Okay, acting as the servant of the Lord. Okay, that's why sometimes when we accept initiation, we get the name Das at the back. Like my name is Padita Tarna Jagannath Das. Like Prabhu Vaishnava Kripa Das. Das means servant. We always must remember that we are the servant of the Lord. We are here in Manjari Parambara. Manjari Parambara means Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Parambara. Is called Manjari Parambara, the Parambara of servant. And not only in this Parambara, even all the Parambara, right? Like even when you look at Sri Vaishnava, also they all the Parambara of the servants. That's why they say Adiyen Dasan. They always say Adiyen Dasan, Adiyen Dasan, Adiyen. That means my humble self is a servant. I'm the servant of Ramanuja. Okay, I'm the servant of Adiyen Ramanuja Dasan. All right. So that's how they always say. Okay, we have to be always as a servant. Number 8, making friend with the Lord. Krishna also said in so many instances, right? Because you are my dear friend, I'm going to tell you the secret. Because you are my dear friend, I'm going to tell this. So be friend with Krishna, right? Because this is the friend that will never betray you. Okay, even though that with your visible eyes you can't see him, but just by simply calling his name, on that split second, he is there to protect you, my dear Prabhus and mothers. If you all have experienced that, you can share. Or if you feel you don't want to share with others, you can even share it to me. All right. And those who have not experienced, let me tell you, you will never believe. Why are we so much into this Krishna consciousness? Because here we are getting so much of pleasure. All right. We are not a sentimental or blind movement, which we simply follow this thing, right? Why? Even though the rules and regulation, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex, and all these things, sometimes we don't want to associate with others. It looks like we don't have life. But let me tell you, dear father, Prabhus and mothers, the life is here. All right. You have so much of pleasure. the pleasure that can never be explained, right? So like that. So that means, therefore, we make friends. Like for instance, when who that Kunti Devi, right? Is it Kunti Devi? Panchali. What's another name of Draupadi? Draupadi. When Draupadi was about to what they call, about to strip naked, okay, in that assembly of gurus, right? Because the husbands have lost her in bed. The Dushashana, the brother to come with Duryodhana will want to come and strip her naked. Okay, when he was pulling the sari, she was holding onto it. All right, he was pulling the, you want to like pull the sari off. She was holding, please don't, please don't. Until then, she looked at the husband, begged the husband, come on, such a mighty warrior, Bhima, Arjuna, Yudhishthira, what happened? Nagula, Sadeva, what are you sitting there watching? They just put their head down. They are helpless. Then after that, she begged, what they call? She begged the, what they call, what's the name? What they call, Bhishma. He begged Drona, he begged all the leaders, all the head of the Kuru dynasty, all the elders. Nobody could say anything. And Duryodhana says, strip her naked. I want to see her naked. Right? So at that time, what she did, she just raised her hand and just called upon Krishna. My dear Krishna, save me. And immediately, he was keep pulling and pulling this thing. So that's what. So the friendship of Krishna will never betray us. Sometimes we don't think that, oh, I can't see him. So no, is very near to you, and yet is very far to you. You know, tutup pen. You know, tutup pen. Tutup lah, tutup. You know, tutup, you tutup. Okay. All right. So making friends, all right, is very important. And number 9, surrendering oneself fully to the Lord. Okay, we fully surrender to the Lord. It is not that we surrender partially. Krishna, I surrender to you 10% for now, right? Once I become older, I surrender 50%. When I'm about to die, I surrender 100%. It doesn't work that way, right? So it is fully surrender to the Lord, all right? This is the 9 process. So out of these 9 process, Shravanam or hearing, right? Right? Shravanam or hearing is the first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge. Okay, we have to listen, we have to hear. It's the first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge. One should not give up oral reception. Okay, one should never give up the oral reception. Okay, okay, sorry. One should not give oral reception to unauthorized person. Right? That means, in other words, you should always approach a proper person as recommended in Bhagavad Gita 434. Okay, so you should not allow anyone who are not qualified to speak to you in this subject matter. Right? So you should approach a proper person as recommended in Bhagavad Gita 434. Tat vidhi pranipatena praniprashnena sevaya upadekshanti ine te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. So what Krishna says in 434, he says, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Okay? So we should learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Then after that, how we learn the truth? By inquiring. Okay, we inquire from him. How we inquire? Submissively, not challenging. Hey, can you tell me why this? Not challenging. Inquire submissively, humbly. And not only that, you also render service unto him. Okay, you render service. First, you inquire with him so humbly, my dear Guru Maharaj, can you please tell me this? After that, while you're listening, maybe you're pressing his leg. Okay, massaging his leg. Okay, so render service unto him. Why? Why is it important? Because the self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you. Can impart the knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So the word is impart. What does it impart means? It is not he's going to teach you. He's going to inspire you. He's going to download. Impart means, in other words, you also can use the word download. He's going to download the spiritual knowledge unto you. So he just need to bless you. You will be, all the knowledge that you're supposed to understand will simply come into you. All right. So that's a recommendation. So we do not waste our time learning or try to get a commentary from unauthorized person. Right. Sometimes we see, right, in my course of my journey in this bhakti, sometimes I see some elderly people, right? Some elderly people, they used to say, oh, you think you know Krishna better than me? right? They are basically North Indian Gujaratis, or they say, the Krishna is in Dwaraka. Krishna is part of us. Okay, there's another group of North Indians. Sometimes they used to say that we are the descendant of Arjuna. Okay, we know Krishna better. We are the Pandavas. Okay, like this kind of things. So what they will do when you go and associate these kind of people, they start to give you some wrong understanding. Oh, Krishna said this, Krishna is this way. No, we are not interested in what you say. I'm only interested in what the pure devotee of the Lord says. I'm only interested to know what is a pure devotee of the Lord says. Okay, so the pure devotee of the Lord says, do like this, we just simply follow that. Even though the person can be born into that culture or what, that's not important. Correct? So we must remember. So we must always remember, like most of us are Indian here, and most of us are somewhere other we are under this kind of Indian culture. All right. So we always make a mistake by what they call by combining the culture and spiritual. Sometimes we may say, hey, this is part of our culture. Okay, worshipping Krishna is part of our culture and this and that, right? So they say this is part of my culture. So therefore, they say, so please always must remember, we just follow the rules of our pure devotee. What they say, we simply follow, right? We put aside whatever culture that we come from. Now we are creating a new culture, the culture of submissiveness, the culture of inquiry, the culture of rendering service, the culture of being humble. Okay, that's why if the devotee come and say that you do this way, we just simply follow that way. Especially when you look at South Indians, right? They just don't dance, right? The South Indians, basically, they don't dance. But when you look at North Indians, for everything they dance, marriage, everything they dance, right? Then the worship, everything, even other worship like Durga worship, Shiva worship, they simply dance. But the South Indians don't dance. All right, they just like to stand erect, all right, stand like that and pay, dum dum dum. No, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, right? Just sit in one place and pray. But the North Indians are not like that. They simply like to dance. But whatever North Indian, South Indian, whatever Indian, but whatever it is, we are not this body. But what we do, we simply render service. We follow what the spiritual master says, and that is what recommended by in Bhagavad Gita. It is further recommended actually. Okay, it is further recommended. Just now we refer from Bhagavad Gita, and now the second recommendation is from Mundaka Upanishad, right? Mundaka Upanishad. It's further recommended that with okay, what it says? What it says? Tat Vijnanarthan Sagurum Eva Bigachet. What is that? Mundaka Upanishad says to understand the science. Okay, to understand the transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Right? So the word is tat vijnana. In Tamil also we call vijnana means science. Yes or not? So what is vijnana? So this is transcendental science. So that means what is science is? That means here we are trying to understand God scientifically. Right? We are not understanding the God sentimentally, right? Or speculatively. We want to understand. So that means even in order to understand the God scientifically, we still have to approach a spiritual master. And what kind of spiritual master we should approach? A bona fide spiritual master. What is bona fide means? The spiritual master which is authentic, which is original, all right? Because he comes, okay, how to find out whether they are original and authentic? That spiritual master has to come under the parampara system. Okay, we see like this guy Sadhguru, right? He start to talk so much of nonsense things, right? Because he's very good in simply juggle his words. He's a word juggler. His command of English is so perfect. He just know how to play around the bush with the command of. That's why we call word jugglery. They juggle with words, right? So like they say the Kali Yuga hasn't started. Like the day he was talking about that Kali Yuga, then he was talking about that Kumbh Mela, and he's talking about Ramayana, right? And you know what? And he also say you have not even studied the Vedas, right? Because he's a self declared guru, but because of his popularity, right? Because of his popularity and because of his what they call the word jugglery, so many foolish followers who are so-called highly materially educated. Highly materially educated. The person can be very highly educated, like IIT graduate, medicine graduate, medical degree, scientist, politician. They can be very highly qualified, but still they are foolishly follow this person, because even that material education, it is not an enlightenment. It is still in a blind situation. It's still in the darkness of ignorance. So we do not take this kind of materially education, materially highly qualified person as a benchmark to determine a person that the person is intelligent or not. The material qualification is not a benchmark. It's not a yardstick to make a decision that person is highly qualified. The qualification, a person can be even not educated. The person can be even foolish, right? But when the person could understand the science of Krishna, he is the bona fide spiritual master. I give you one real life example. My uncle became a devotee. And so my uncle means he's like quite a distant relation. So it is very rare for the people from my family, the Chettiar family, to become a Krishna devotee is very rare, because they only worship Lord Kartikeya, only Murugan, nothing else. So when he became a devotee, all right, when he became a devotee, so he made me a devotee. I was so attracted, so I became a devotee. When I became a devotee, then what happened? My mother was telling, you know, once upon a time, I don't mention that my uncle's name, because he's quite well-known person now. Once upon a time, that fella, that is my uncle, was so dull-headed, he don't understand. My mother used to teach him tuition. My mother used to gather some boys, because they were so much younger than my mother. So he gathered all these young boys, sit down and teach them tuition. You know, those days, they don't allow the girls to go out, and even the boys to go out. They live among the community. All of them will come to my mother to learn. And my mother usually she said, I always knock his head and I always twist his ears, because he's such a fool, he just don't understand. For him, education is very hard. Right? So she was like saying critical, because she was angry that I became a devotee. I mean, those days. And now she's also, my mother is also initiated disciple, all right, of His Holiness Narasingha Maharaj. Okay, she also accepted initiation. Eventually, it will happen. So anyway, in the early years, in 93, 94, she used to say, this guy like that, you are following him, what he knows. But why I'm trying to tell you here is, but after he gave up his business and everything, he went back to India, Madurai. He's the one who established that Madurai ISKCON. He gave the land. He was such a millionaire. He gave the land. Then now they built the thing. And second, he also given the place for what they call Sri Rangam. Sri Rangam, ISKCON Sri Rangam. He bought the land and gave it to the Sri Rangam. And the thing that I was like very astonished, when my mother says that he's not educated and all, because these Vaishyas are always not educated. Vaishyas or the business people, they are not interested in education or what. They are only interested in making money. So for them, education is very far away. Right? Of course, nowadays, the modern Vaishyas, they want the children to be educated before they take over the business. Right? So, but eventually, you know what my uncle did? He started to preach in Madurai State University. Right? He's one of that visiting lecturer. And he gives lecture in Madurai State University. Can you imagine it? A person who is not so educated, but when he start to practice, when he start to follow the Guru, when the Guru imparted the knowledge unto him, and that's when he start. So we must always remember, the material qualification, material education is not a benchmark or a yardstick, right? That we should follow that person blindly. The person says, you know, I'm a scientist, so I know better. It doesn't work that way. All right. Thus, this method of submissive receiving transcendental knowledge is not merely based on mental speculation. What? Submissive receiving transcendental. That means we are receiving the knowledge very submissively, very humbly. It is not a mental speculation. In this regard, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, right? The author of this book, all right? So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, what he says? Brahmanda Brahmite Kona. This is always, think about this. All right. If you have a book with you, please underline this verse, mark this verse, or put a star beside that you're going to look at this verse in very detail. I want you to really read about it and contemplate on this verse. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan. Bhagyavan, you know, Bhagyavan means very fortunate. Jiva, that Jiva. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. What it says, what Lord Chaitanya says to Chaitanya, to Rupa Goswami, he said very nicely. He said that in the course of in the course of traversing the universal creation of Brahma, in the course that we are going through this one birth and another, okay, in the universal creation of Brahma, right? In this universe, that means in this universe, we are looking at the lower planetary system until the Patala Loka, until Satya Loka, which is the Brahma Loka. We are traversing, okay, in this course. That means on the way, some fortunate soul. And who is that some? Who is that fortunate soul? The some, which is very rare. That means some of them, some fortunate soul may receive the seed of Bhakti Lata. Okay, he may receive the seed of Bhakti Lata. Bhakti Lata means what? The creeper of devotional service, right? So he get the seed. Okay, the plant, that creeper, that like money plant. Money plant, you see, right? The thing will just like, it's a creeper. So like that. So we are climbing to Goloka. So that means we may get out of so many people who are traveling through this creation of Brahma, some fortunate soul may receive. That also not guaranteed. May means not guaranteed. May receive the seed of Bhakti Lata, or the creeper of devotional service. And this thing happened all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. So all these things happen by the grace of Guru and Krishna. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona. Bhakyavan. Bhakyavan means the most fortunate. Bhakyasali. In Tamil we call Bhakyasali. Almost Sariyana Bhakyasali. Right? Sometimes we call the Lakshmi Bhakya Lakshmi. Right? We call Bhakya Raj, the king of all fortunate guys. Krishna, Bhakya Raj. So like that. So by the mercy, Bhakyavan Jiva, when the soul is extremely fortunate, Bhakyavan Jiva. So you get the creeper Brahmanda Brahmite, right? You get the Guru Krishna. Guru Krishna will offer the prasade, will offer that boon of Bhakti Lata Beach. That is the seat or the creeper of devotional service by the grace of Krishna. So it's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 19, text 151. So now let's think about our existence here. Do you think that you all are very fortunate? Yes. Whether you think or you don't think, that is that fact. The fact is you are all extremely fortunate. All right. Maybe like just like a child. When a child sees $100 bill, he doesn't understand. For him, it's a toy. Sometimes the child even tear that bill. They take the $100 ringgit or what? Hey, what is it? He just put in the mouth, or he just simply throw. Even you give a diamond or a gold, all right, to a child, the child will take it and just see, oh, this is another toy, play, and throw. The child don't understand. But as we grow up, when we become mature, we understand the $100 bill. We understand the gold and diamond, the possession. So similarly, now you might be all in a neophyte stage. That means you're all at a beginning stage. You might not realizing or not understanding that in which condition or which situation that you are all in. All right. But let me tell you that you are all very, very, very fortunate people here. And those who are even listening on a YouTube channel, let me tell you, you are all very fortunate. If you don't have this fortune, this Bhakyavan, this Bhakyam, okay, Bhakyam, Tamil we call Bhakyam, this fortune. If you don't have this Bhakyam, you won't be here listening to this. You won't be here even considering to chant Hare Krishna. Even you can't even chant Hare Krishna yet. But to consider to chant Hare Krishna, you have that desire to chant Hare Krishna. Even you try to attempt to chant 1 or 2 times Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You now have to go and wash my dishes, right? This is a challenge. But even you do that, even you say it once, even you say Hare Krishna, Even you're convinced with this philosophy. Even you go and tell your friends, you know something, Krishna is the Supreme Personality. You know, or if you're not saying anyone, but deep in your heart, you're keeping it with it. And you start to feel some kind of pleasure, even to read about it. You are not an ordinary person. If you don't believe me, you will realize this as you go on in life. As you go on in life, you see how beautifully Krishna is going to reciprocate with you. And you're going to be in the transcendental grace. All right. You're going to be in the great grace. All right. So that's the thing. So I'm not saying this is that a person may receive. May receive means what? What does it mean, may receive? That means you're just starting. So here Krishna is talking about the beginner of a devotee. Some fortune may receive the seed of bhakti, Lata. All right. So that means, in other words, my dear Prabhus and mothers, I want you to think of this very deeply in your heart. Write it down somewhere. All right. Like I know a devotee, you would say, tattoo it on your body. Tattoo it on your hand and see it every day. All right. Of course, I don't know. I won't ask you to tattoo, but I want you to think about it. Right. That you have got the grace of Guru and Krishna. If you're following me, put a thumbs up. Are you all following me? 8, 7, good. How about others? Oh, okay. Right. So you all are following me, right? So I want you to think about it. That if you are not an ordinary kind of person. So the material world. Yes, Sheila Mataji, you raised your hand. Is it that you're supposed to put a thumbs up? You actually raised your hand? Okay. Anyway, it's good. Vivan Manikam, yes. Yes, Vivan? You raised your hand? Or you want to say something?
Additional. Sorry, bro. Wrongly. Okay, sorry. Yes, bro. Yes.
All right. Okay. So now we understand. So this material world, right? So now another important topic, another important information Krishna is giving. Please look at it. All right. Get your book and underline this statement. This material world, what is that? Okay. What is the material world? It's a place of confinement. All right. It's a place of confinement. So what is confinement means? See, when a mother after deliver a child, they go into confinement. They'll be put in a way. Or in other words, in a modern term, we call, what is the term? They used to say when you get coronavirus. When you get a virus, they put you on, what do you call that?
Isolation.
No, isolation. Another one is what?
Quarantine.
Quarantine. Yes. So it's like quarantine. All right. So the material world is a place of confinement or the place of quarantine for living entity who are by nature anandamaya or pleasure seeking. Okay. That means by nature, okay, by what they call, by nature of a human, by living entity, they are all anandamaya. Anandamaya means what? Every living entity is looking for some kind of pleasure. Even a snail, even a leech, right? Even this thing. So they are all looking around, going around, looking for pleasure. Okay. So this material world is a place of confinement. So you're kept in a place where you only have 100% pleasure. You confine into this place, isolated. They actually want to be free, actually. They want to be free from the confinement. Right? They want to be free. But of this material world, of conditioned happiness. Because here, actually, they want to be free from this confinement of this world of conditional happiness. What is conditional happiness means? Your happiness is conditioned. All right. The ratio is maybe 1 to 5. One happiness, and you come along with 5 misery. The confine 1 to 5, right? So one part of happiness also comes with 5 part of suffering. Okay. So this is conditional, but not knowing. Okay, actually everyone want to be free from this confinement, but not knowing the process of liberation. They just don't understand how to do it. Okay. they are bound to transmigrate. Okay. So they are bound to transmigrate from one species of life to another species, from one planet to another. So that means you are not only confined to this planet, but you are also pass through all the other planets. In this way, the living entities are wandering throughout the material universe. Wandering. When by, now let's look at it, when by good fortune, all right, when by good fortune one comes in contact. So that means contact with pure devotees. Right? So by good fortune, one comes in contact with pure devotees. And hears him patiently. One begins to follow the path of devotional service. So now what the word that we should highlight here? We should highlight here is when by good fortune, one comes in contact with pure devotees. Who is that pure devotee? Srila Prabhupada. When we are reading this translation, we are actually reading Prabhupada's comment. So we are in direct relationship with Prabhupada. Prabhupada is explaining to us through his instruction. And we are hearing from him patiently. So one begins to follow the path of devotional service. So again, Prabhus and mothers, again I'm telling you this. You are not an ordinary kind of person. You are not a random kind of living entity, but you are the most fortunate person. Because you have got that good fortune that you have already in contact with pure devotees. And now we are reading from him patiently, listening from him patiently. And by this, we are actually on our path of devotional service. Such an opportunity offered by a person who is sincere. Okay, such an opportunity is offered to a person who is sincere. That means you are all very sincere. And therefore, Prabhupada is explaining something even more inspiring. What it says? It says, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, is giving such a chance of humanity in large. So what is your nearest ISKCON temple? You have to take advantage of this. All right, you have to take advantage of this society because Prabhupada created the society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is giving such a chance of humanity. If by fortune one takes advantage, can you imagine this? If by fortune, even for you to be in ISKCON or to be part of ISKCON or to associate with ISKCON, it is also by fortune. You all understand? I am not here speaking sentimentally or speculatively. I'm just simply using, reading the word that what Prabhupada says. If by fortune means what? All right? That means a person has to be again Bhakyavan, Bhakyasali. If by fortune one takes advantage of this opportunity and engage in devotional service, the path of liberation immediately open. It doesn't take time. It is not that now you start doing until the thing. No, you are already on your way. Right? Say like for instance, like in certain things, you have to undergo some kind of probation. Here, there's nothing probation. Once you say, Hare Krishna, I like it, you're already taken and put on the queue. You're already on the queue. Your visa is already approved. But it's your decision when you want to fly. Okay? We still have that this thing that we can, okay. Now, one should accept this opportunity. So now Prabhupada says, one should accept this opportunity. They should accept this opportunity for what? To return home back to Godhead. Okay? We have to accept this opportunity, return home. And how? Very enthusiastically. You should be very excited to going back home. Just imagine when your last day after you finish your school. Now, say if you're working in overseas, right? Or you're studying in a university. Now the semester break is coming. You can't wait to go back home. The excitement, the happiness of going back. You know how enthusiastic you look like? That you must have the same enthusiasm. All right. You should accept this opportunity to return home very enthusiastically. Because without that enthusiasm, one cannot be successful. Without this enthusiasm, you cannot be successful. Even in this material, one has to be very enthusiastic. Yes or not? Even here, one has to be very enthusiastic in his particular field of activity in order to become successful. A student, businessman, artist, or anyone else who wants success in his line must be enthusiastic. Similarly, one has to be very enthusiastic in devotional service. Okay. And now Prabhupada also continues. Enthusiasm means what? Action. All right. It's not simply sitting in one place and start jumping up and down. It is action. But action for whom? Prabhupada asks. But action to what? Action for whom? So that means the answer is that one should always act for Krishna. Krishna, okay, what is that? In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is also mentioned. Krishna ta kila chesta. So answer is one should always act for Krishna. That means you should be always enthusiastic in serving Krishna, and we are always looking forward and excited that we are going back to Godhead. In all phases of life, one has to perform devotional activities. Now let's look at this. In all phases of life, all right, in all phases, one has to perform devotional activities. Perform devotional activities under the direction of a spiritual master in order to attain perfection in Bhakti Yoga. It is not that one has to confine or narrow one's activity. Okay, it's not to say I go to temple, I practice bhakti. Every Sunday I go for a Sunday feast. I go to the temple. First thing I go, I sweep the floor. Then I cut the vegetable. Then I do this. Then I worship the deities. I join the kirtan. I'll dance my heart. I'll sing my heart out. That's it. Once come back home, nothing. So we are not confined to narrow activities. Please do remember that. We should always practice devotional service in all phases, right? The day that you wake up, the day that you travel, even you're traveling. Okay? So we have to see. Right. So you have to perform devotional service under the direction of spiritual master in to attain the perfection. So it is not that he has to confine or narrow one's activity, because Krishna is all pervading. What is the verse? Can anyone tell me in Bhagavad Gita? What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? Krishna says that I am all pervading. Hare Krishna. K7, are you there? Yes. Where Krishna says, I'm all pervading.
In chapter 9, Prabhu.
Yeah, chapter 9 is down there. Not that.
Another one is
What do you call that? Chatur Sloki. Remember? You remember?
chapter 10, 8.
Chapter 10, text 8. Yes, very good. Chapter 10, text 8. Chapter 10 says what? Aham sarvasva prabhavo. Aham sarvasva prabhavo means what? I am all pervading. Right? I'm the source of spiritual material world. Everything emanates from me. Right? Matta sarvam pravartate. Again, everything emanates from me. The voice of perfect Nodi engage me. Okay, so that means what? The Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am all pervading in 10.8. Right? So 10 points. And therefore, nothing is independent of Krishna. And of course, in 9.4, again, Krishna says what? Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matstani sarva bhutani na chaham teshva vastitaha. All right? So Maya tatam idam sarvam. Sarvam means everywhere. All right? Jagat avyakta murtina matstani na chaham teshva. Okay. By me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All right. So where is it? How does he pervade the entire material universe? Can anyone quickly tell me? Those who are following my classes. How? Vivan? How he pervade the entire creation? K7? We spoke about it last Thursday in Namahat Center. How he pervades?
Super soul.
Super soul. Number one. How? What is super soul? One is super soul. Second is the localized Vishnu. The Shirodakshaya Vishnu has three forms. One is super soul as Paramatma. Second is the maintainer, like Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, that maintainer. Number 3 is Vishnu. The word Vishnu means the one who's all pervading. That means he enters into every atom, and that's when all the atom becomes activated. Okay, so like that. So in my unmanifested form, okay, it says in my unmanifested form, all right, he enters into every universe. Okay, the entire universe is pervaded. That means everything is controlled by him. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Under the direction of bona fide spiritual master, one has to make everything favorable for Krishna's service. For example, at present, we are using the dictaphone. Okay, now Prabhupada is actually translating the books using the dictaphone. Okay, now he's referring to that. The materialists who invented the dictaphone, okay, the materialists who invented the dictaphone, this machine, intended for businessman or writer of mundane subject matter. He certainly never thought of using the dictaphone in God's service. But we are using the dictaphone in Krishna conscious literature. Of course, the manufacture of the dictaphone is wholly within the energy of Krishna. Of course, they are also under the energy of Krishna, the manufacturer. All the parts of the instrument, including the electronic function, are made from different combination or interaction of the 5 basic types of material energy, namely Bhumi, Earth, Jala, water, Agni, fire, Vayu. Vayu means air, Agasa, ether. The inventor used his brain to make this complicated machine, and his brain as well. Okay, his brain and as well as the ingredient was supplied by Krishna. According to the statement of Krishna, Matstani Sarva Bhutani, everything is depending on my energy, and thus the devotee can understand that since nothing is independent of Krishna's energy, everything should be dovetailed in his service. So what does that mean? The first thing that we see is but we are using this. Okay, now Prabhupada is saying this word. But we are using this. Yeah, what is that? But we are using this for Krishna conscious literature. We are using the dictaphone for Krishna conscious literature. Then after that, he says that everything should be dovetailed to his service. What does that mean? So he's using everything for the Krishna's service, and everything should be engaged to him. So what is this is called Yukta Vairagya. In Bhagavad Gita, we studied that Yukta Vairagya. Because Krishna says, don't give up and become a mundane. All right, people say, Arjuna says he wants to give up everything and want to go to the forest. All right, you want to give up everything. But Krishna says, don't give up anything. Perform your duty and dedicate your duty to Krishna. They call this as Yukta Vairagya. So like, for instance, now I got a computer, I got a camera, and I got a speaker here, and I'm staying in a house. I got the fan is running up there. You know, it's quite a comfortable place. I'm sitting in everything. All right, but I'm not using it for my own sense gratification. I'm using this for the service of Krishna. Similarly, anything that you have, when you offer it to Krishna, when you serve for Krishna, you become good at it. All right. So that is called Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya, everything is dedicated or dovetailed to his service. So endeavor executed with intelligence. Now Prabhupada is continuing. So endeavor, that means we are working hard, not blindly like a donkey, but we are using our intelligence. So endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness is called Utsaha or enthusiasm. All right. So endeavor, that means we are endeavoring with intelligence in Krishna's this thing called Utsaha. The devotee find correct means by which everything can be utilized. All right. So the devotee find the correct means by which everything can be utilized in the service of the Lord. So everything that we buy, we are trying to look for ways how we can utilize it for the service of God. Like Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairakyam Uchyate. See, the word is here, right? So what he says, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. Krishna Sambandhe means Krishna relationship. What is that? Yuktam Vairakyam. So that's why I say Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means the execution of devotional service is not a matter of idle meditation, but practical action in the foreground of spiritual life. So that means Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. That means everything is work in relationship with Krishna, and how we should dovetail, we should dedicate to Krishna. The phone that you have, maybe you have the best phone in town. Maybe you're using a fantastic laptop computer. Maybe you're driving a first-class car. Maybe you're driving a Mercedes-Benz. Doesn't matter. All right. Don't think, oh, yo, I'm a karmi, you know, I'm trying. No, it doesn't matter. Because the Krishna given you that Mercedes Benz. But what we need to do, we need to practice Yukta Vairakyam. We have to utilize that. All right. For instance, there's one devotee who are very successful, very high class, and he was very prominent. All right. Just like you know that Tulasi Gabat. All right. Tulasi Gabat, I think she's going to be the head of intelligence, something like that, under the Trump administration. Tulasi Gabat. She's a Hare Krishna devotee from Hawaii. She's a Hare Krishna devotee. All right. And they are initiated by Prabhupada disciple. All right. Prabhupada's, that means Prabhupada like us. Okay. She's an initiated disciple. I mean, this thing, the parents, and her name is Tulasi Gabat. So what happened suddenly? A person who's supposed to run on an election, supposed to run on a presidency, and now she's the head of Secret Service or something like that. Head of FBI is Patel. There's a guy Patel. Head of Secret Service, I think it's Tulasi Gabat. And imagine she comes with the ukulele and start to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Have you seen that video? Have anyone seen that video? Tulasi Gabat singing? Thumbs
Yes.
up if you have seen. Okay.
Yes.
So that means what? She's using the Yukta Vairakyam. She's using a position of being one of the most powerful person in the world, and she's using it and chanting the Hare Krishna. That's Yukta Vairakyam. Okay. Now, the execution of devotional service is not a matter of idle meditation, but practical action. Okay, in the foreground. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, I saw you raising your hand. You want to say something?
Prabhu, there's Krishna Nirbandha. Can you expand it a bit? Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha.
Huh?
Nirbandha means no, not attached,
Nirbandha.
not connected.
Wait, let me take other verse.
Just 2 lines above, Prabhu. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. Yukta Vairakyam Uchayate. Same paragraph you are reading, Prabhu. Just 1 line before this, Prabhu.
Just
Everything can be utilized in the service of Krishna. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. I lost you, Prabhu.
yeah, I'm here. All right. See, now it says here, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhi means referred to an idea of developing a connection with Lord Krishna without any specific material motivation. Nirbandha. Nirbandha means what?
Not connected.
Not to say not connected. In Tamil, we call Nibandhanai. Nibandhanai means condition. Or what they call? What they call Nibandhanai. In terms and condition.
Nirbandha.
Nirbandha. Terms and condition. So terms and condition means, example like, okay, now I want to work with you. What is my terms and condition? What is my perks? All right.
Yeah.
Or say like when you want to come and surrender. See, when Japanese surrender to British, right? So what they call Nibandhani. Nibandhani that means they surrender without condition, without any condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhi. That means there's no condition in Krishna service. Everything's Yukta Vairakyam Uchyate. Everything you use as Yukta Vairakyam. Everything is dovetailed to Krishna. So that means there's no thing. Example, see, if you're having a Mercedes Benz, you're living in a huge bungalow, right? That is not that is totally fine, because there's no Nibandhanam. There's no how can I translate Nibandhanam in English? Can anyone help me Nibandhanam in English? Nibandhanam.
I think in Malayalam it's like it's a rule. If you want
rule,
for me, these are the rules.
Nirbandha. Okay, sometimes we also can say nir means no, bandha means association.
Yeah, Babu.
No association, right? Nirbandha. All right, but here it says nirbandha means like in Tamil we call nibandhanai,
Yeah,
the
Babu.
terms and condition.
I thought nirbandha means no connection.
Okay, like for instance, the word kevalam. In Tamil, kevalam means what?
Very downgraded, Babu.
Very downgraded. But in Sanskrit, kevalam means what?
Without, and it is no use.
In Sanskrit, in Tamil, kevalam means useless or downgrade, right?
Yeah.
Kevalam, yeah, kevalama irukku. You know, kevalam, no, like a dirty fella, lousy fella, right?
Yeah.
But what in Sanskrit, what is kevalam means? Harir nama, kevalam, kalau nasti, eva nasti, gadir anyataha. What is kevalam in Sanskrit? Kevalam means auspicious in Sanskrit. Are you following me?
Yeah, but in another place, when you say Kevala, without knowing Krishna, all your attempts are useless.
No, kevalam means it's Harir nama, kevalam, which is very auspicious.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Just give me a second, let me see.
But always they say, Prabhu, if there's no, without Krishna, knowing everything, without knowing the Lord, all your attempts in life is worthless.
Because the day I was reading that translation. Kevala in Sanskrit means soul or absolute, one and only or absolute. It is often used to denote purity or exclusivity of and frequently appears in spiritual and philosophical contexts. You got it, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Or sometimes we call the word Keval Bhakti, right? Have you heard about the term Kevala Bhakti?
Yeah.
What is Kevala Bhakti? Is it disgusting Bhakti? In Tamil, it will sound disgusting Bhakti. But in Kevala Bhakti means it's a pure Bhakti. You got it, Prabhu?
But in other place, Prabhu, they say you do so much of devotional service, but without Krishna being the center, Kevalam is endurance only. It's just
Endurance, that means what it means by Kevalam is endurance. That means to what they call to achieve that devotion, the pure path is only endurance.
Yeah.
Because Kevala in Tamil we call as something disgusting, something dirty, something nasty.
Yeah, Kevalam.
Kevalam, you know, sometimes it's very nasty. But in Sanskrit, it means like only soul or absolute or pure devotion, pure.
Yeah.
So like that, like Sanskrit and all these, that's why Sanskrit and Tamil, Malayali, all there'll be a big difference. Now, Nirbandha means Nibandhani. In Tamil, we call Nibandhani. Nibandhani means rules and regulation.
Yeah.
All right. Or say like terms and condition. Now I'm going to do this. What are you going to give me? All right. Okay. Now I work for you. All right. Say like, for instance, I say, okay, I'm a leader of a political party. I go and join Anwar Ibrahim and says, I join you. So what will you give me?
Yeah.
Okay, I make you an MP. I make you a minister. You understand?
Yeah.
So that means Nirbandhana Krishna Sambandha. That means there is no condition. Nibandhani. There's no condition in Krishna Sambandha, in Krishna relationship. Everything is Yukta Vairagya. Everything is Yukta Vairagya means everything dovetail or used in the name of Krishna. So even if you're going to have a Mercedes Benz, you're going to have live in a huge bungalow, or you can be even Dato, Tanshri, or whatever it is, you are simply going to utilize your this thing for Krishna service.
Yeah.
So it is not to say that you need to give up. Oh, now I become a devotee. People say, oh, why devotee got Mercedes Benz? I go sell Mercedes Benz and I buy one pencil. We don't need to do that. Remain where you are, what you have, what is your this thing. Because Krishna have arranged all this for you and use it for the service of Krishna. when Prabhupada went to this Australia, they brought a Rolls Royce to fetch him. You remember that?
Yeah.
So when he fetched a Rolls Royce, the whole Australian media started to criticize.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada is wondering why. What is he didn't even realize that Rolls Royce is supposed to be a very expensive car. He just came out, they brought the car, they just got it and see. Then the reporter asked, "What do you feel like driving Rolls Royce?" He said, "What? Rolls Royce? What is Rolls Royce? You mean that car?" He said, "Why not? Everything belongs to Krishna, and I am a servant of Krishna. So to serve Krishna, why not I use Rolls Royce? So what is so harm about it, right?" So Prabhupada didn't like he was walked from like those days. All the mendicants, all the pure devotees, when they go and preach, they travel by continent. They walk all the way, from one place to another. He took flight. He went from one place to one by flying. So he used that energy of Krishna. The what they call what Sastra? Vimana Sastra. The pathetic Vimana Sastra, that is material aeroplane creation, use it for Krishna. So that is called Yukta Vairagya. So now continue. These activities, Prabhupada says, must be executed with patience. Right? One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. We shouldn't be impatient. Indeed, this Krishna conscious movement was started single-handedly. Prabhupada started this movement single-handedly. And in the beginning, there was no response. No one has responded to Prabhupada. Because he came there to give some big rules and regulations, nobody responded. But because we continue to execute devotional service with patience, people gradually begin to understand the importance of this movement, and now they are eagerly participating. One should not be impatient in discharging devotional service, but should take instruction from the spiritual master and execute them with patience. So you will have your instruction from your spiritual master. And when you execute that instruction, you start to see a big success happening in your life. All right? Like myself, my spiritual master told me in 93, 25th December on Christmas Day, just do this and nothing else. He told me, go and distribute books, right? And preach. But after that, I tried to be a secretary in ISKCON Ipoh. I tried to get into some other commitment. Secretary, I started to become I also became a vice president, then I became a secretary. Then I was this and that, and I failed miserably because I can't take it. Right? And then I tried to get into something else, right? So what I'm saying is, your spiritual service has to be given, instructed by your spiritual master. If you all have access to Chaitanya Charitamrita, go to that first chapter. The first chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita starts with spiritual master, right? So it's mentioned here that Krishnadas Kaviraj mentioned that we have three types of spiritual master. One is Chaita Guru, the Guru that stays in your heart and advise you. That means your Paramatma, right? He is your first Guru. Second is Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru means the Chaita Guru in your heart will appear as Diksha Guru as your disciple. You only can have one Diksha Guru. All right? And that Diksha Guru knows you well because he's also a Diksha Guru. That means he's in your heart, and Diksha Guru, you can never cheat him. You no need even to tell him what is happening in your life. When you look at you, he knows everything. Because the same Chaita Guru in the heart will appear as Diksha Guru right in front of you. There's a second Guru. Third is, there's so many Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru, they want to give you instruction. So when I try to attempt, because when the first day when my spiritual master saw me, he realized that I can't do any other kind of things other than this. And therefore, he gave me this instruction. And by his mercy, all right, by his causeless mercy of my spiritual master, and also by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, somehow or other, we are very enthusiastically, and I consider that successfully, without any false ego, without any ecstasy, but humbly, we are doing this program very successfully on a daily basis, and we start to see a huge transformation start happening. We have seen people who have not even a devotee start distributing Bhagavad Gita. We have successfully distributed 5,400 Bhagavad Gita along with the non-devotees. They don't know head and tail, but they are so excited about distributing Bhagavad Gita, right? We have distributed something like 200 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, like that. So what I'm trying to say is, when we take instruction from spiritual master and we execute with patience, that's when, and by depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna, that's when the successful execution of Krishna consciousness activate. that's when you'll be very successful in executing your Krishna consciousness. All right? Because until then, we don't know what is happening with ours. Okay? The successful execution of Krishna conscious activity required both patience and confidence. Okay? Now, Prabhupada give an example. A newly married girl naturally expects offspring from the husband. A newly married girl wants a child, but she cannot expect them immediately after marriage, right? Of course, as soon as she get married, she have to surrender to the husband. And after that, she must be very confident that a child will develop in the womb, and in due course of time, maybe 8 to 9 to 10 months, the child will appear. All right. So in that way, similarly the same way that we should surrender unto Krishna and has to become confident. A devotee thinks Avasya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. This is called confidence. All right. Okay, we are somewhere near the end of the last paragraph. Okay, we finish it today. As already explained, one should not be idle. One should not be idle. That means shouldn't stay in one place and become like dull-headed, but should be very enthusiastic about executing the regulative principle. This is called as tat karma pravartita. Tat karma pravartana. Okay, that's tat karma pravartana means, okay, in your book, please underline this word, tat karma pravartana, right? So that means the person shouldn't be idle, but should be enthusiastic in executing or performing the regulative, executing the regulative principle. What is that? The regulative principle, the rules and regulation. Okay. Neglect of the regulative principle will destroy. When we neglect the regulative principle, it will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna conscious movement, there are 4 basic regulative principles, right? Forbidding illicit sex. That means forbidding means not allowing illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic. That means now Prabhupada says this word. This is very important. Please highlight this. If you have a book, please highlight. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following this principle. It is not that we are forcefully or struggle to follow the principle. We should be very enthusiastic in following this principle. If he becomes slack, okay, if he becomes slack in following them, all right, his progress will certainly be checked. If he becomes slack, right? Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami recommends tat karma pravartanat. One must strictly follow the regulative principle of Vaidhi Bhakti, right? In addition to these 4 prohibition yama, there are positive regulation, right? So first we have 4 prohibition. We have to follow the 4 rules and regulation. Then after that, we have 4 things that you should practice for positive regulative. One is prohibition, another one is application. The prohibition we call as yama, the application we call as niyama. So what is that application? What is the positive part? That is daily chanting of 16 rounds of japa. Okay, chanting 16 rounds on japa mala, not on clicker. All right, not on anything else. So we must use the japa mala, the 108 mala. We have to go around it, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in each beat for 1 round, that is 108 times by 16. It may take you something around 1.5 hours. All right. If you are new, maybe it's going to take you longer. But as you go, once you become good at it, maybe you can even finish up earlier according to the speed. Right. So that's the first thing we should follow. The regulative principle must be faithfully performed with enthusiasm. Shouldn't take it as a burden. Are you taking up for Mangalarti? Today is Egadasya. Oh my God. Oh, you shouldn't lament. You should be very enthusiastic. Yes, waking up early in the morning. Oh, now is the time to chant Hare Krishna. No, you should be performed with enthusiasm. This is called tat krama pravartanat, or right engagement in devotional service. Okay. Now, Prabhupada is continuing. Okay, we are coming towards the end already. Furthermore, in order to be successful, again, Prabhupada is telling, furthermore, in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. So we should give up the association of unwanted people. Okay. Who are the unwanted people? Okay. That is number 1, karmi, materialists. Number 2, jnanis, the speculative things. Number 3, yogis. All right. And number 4, other types of non-devotee. We should avoid these kind of people. Karmi, jnani, and yogi. Karmi always thinking about making big money. Jnani is always sitting there and try to speculate on the knowledge, right, of Mayavadi. Yogi is always sitting thinking, being idle, saying that no need to work, just stay in one place. All these are going to be your stumbling block. All right. And of course, the non-devotee. Non-devotee don't understand devotional service. For them, we can be a laughing stock. So we better avoid them. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked by one of his householder devotees, all right, about the general principle of Vaishnavism. Okay, what is the general? So the general routine activities of Vaishnava. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Asat Sanga Tyaga, a Vaishnava Achara. Asat Sangha. Sat means auspicious. Asat means inauspicious. Sangha means association. Tyaga means sacrifice. A Vaishnava Achara, an associate duty. So what it says, characteristically, a Vaishnava who gives up the association of worldly people of non-devotee. Okay. So that is that characteristic. So Vaishnava have no time to associate with non-devotees because they find that the time is so scarce and they are so enthusiastic and they are so much in happiness and excitement. They just don't want to associate with non-devotees, right? This is not that we are trying to create some kind of caste, creed, or this, because that is what's Asat Sangha. Because when you start to associate with non-devotees, you start to spoil your bhakti, all right? It is just like you are wearing a pure white dhoti. I'm wearing a kurta which is pure white. If one dot of ink touch this, all the eyes will be there. That is how powerful that Asat Sangha. All right, so we have to be careful. So Narottama Das Thakur has therefore recommended Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sane Vasa. One has to live in the company of a pure devotee and execute the regulatory principle laid down by the previous Acharya. The 6 Goswamis named as Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami and Raghunath Das Bhatta Goswami. Okay, so that means we have the 6 Acharyas, right? The Goswami, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, the one who wrote this book, Sanatan Goswami, his brother, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, both from South India, right? They are initiated by this Sri Vaishnava, but of course, eventually they followed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and start to teach the topmost yoga system. So these 6 are our Acharya. If one lives in the association of devotees, there is a little chance of associating with non-devotees. So therefore, again, Prabhupada, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is opening many centers just to invite people to live in the company of devotees. All right, like in Ipoh, we have our main center. And now second, we have our center, which is in First Garden Bhakti Yoga Center. All right. So we are all created these things to create an opportunity for people to come and associate and to sing and glorify the Lord. All right. And also to practice the regulatory principle of spiritual life. Sooner or later, that Ipoh Bhakti Yoga Center is going to be dedicated to a pure Chinese preaching center. All right. We're going to start as a Chinese preaching effort. So sooner or later, and of course, that place is going to be dedicated. So we hope that more and more devotees can be churned out through that attempt. Right now, devotional service means transcendental activities. On the transcendental platform, there is no contamination. We must always remember that transcendental platform, there's no contamination. By what? By the 3 modes of material nature. What is the 3 modes of material nature? Right? By the 3 modes of material nature. What are the 3 modes? Quickly, can anyone tell me?
Goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Yes. Mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So the pradhana, they call pradhana. These 3 modes are, there's no contamination. Where in the transcendental platform, okay? This is called Vishuddha Sattva, or the platform of pure goodness, or goodness free from contamination by qualities of passion and ignorance. Okay? In this Krishna conscious movement, we require everyone to rise up early at 4 a.m. Now, in Krishna conscious movement, we are required everyone to rise early in the morning by 4 a.m. and attend Mangala Arati or morning worship then read Srimad Bhagavatam, perform Kirtan and so forth. Okay. So how many of you can wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Thumbs up. All right. Of course, it's this thing. But anyway, we pray to Krishna to give us that enthusiasm to wake up. When we wake up in the morning, we just, you're so fast, 4 o'clock. Oh my God, no. No, you have this thing. So if you want to wake up early in the morning, very simple. Go to bed by 8:30 to 9. 8:30, 9 o'clock, go to bed. When you can do that, you can easily wake up by 3 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, you can wake up with full enthusiasm. All right. If you don't believe, try it. Since it's a school holiday, some of you are teachers here. So try to go to bed at 8:30 and see whether you can wake up by 3 o'clock or not. You won't believe it. So there's a saying, Ayurveda says, when you sleep from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight, the 3 hours consider 8 hours sleep. Then after that, from 12 to 3 o'clock in the morning is a bonus. So when you sleep if you go to bed by 9 o'clock, right? If 9 to 12 is already 8 hours sleep, plus another 3 hours bonus, is consider 8, 9, 10, 11 hours of fantastic sleep. So when you wake up early in the morning, you know what will happen to you? You start to burn high calorie. The calorie will be burnt even on a faster pace. You can be even more healthier and more linear. You can be thin and healthy and active. Okay. So you want to experience it, right? All right. So thus we hold continuous activities in devotional service 24 hours daily. This is called Satovritti, or following the footsteps of previous Acharya who expertly fill every moment of time with Krishna conscious activity. If one strictly follow the advice given by the verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, okay, if one strictly follow the advice given in this verse, all right, by Rupa Goswami, namely being enthusiastic, being confident, being patient, giving up association of unwanted person, following the regulative principle, and remaining in association of devotee, one is sure to advance in devotional service. Okay, one is sure to advance in devotion. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati remarks that the cultivation of knowledge by philosophical speculation, the collection of mundane opulence by advancement in fruitive activities, and the desire of yoga siddhi or material perfection are all contrary to principle of devotional service. All are contrary. Contrary means what? It's against the principle of devotional service. So we must be very careful. So one has to become thoroughly careless, right? To be careless is not a good thing, right? Careless mistake. Sometimes they say, oh, you shouldn't do careless mistake. But now it's a positive careless. So what Prabhupada is explaining very nicely, say one has to be thoroughly careless. That means you have to be purposely careless to such non-permanent activities, all right? To such non-permanent activities, and turn his attention instead to regulative principle, all right? From you doing this thing, better turn your regulative principle of devotional service. According to Bhagavad Gita 2:69, what he says, Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani na nisha pashyati mune. What is night for the time for what is night for all being is a time for awakening for self-control. And the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective stage. Right? What it means here? What is the night for all beings? Right? When everybody is like happily sleeping at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. For the sage, that's the time for getting up or wake up. Right? We have a devotee here, but he told me not to mention anyone, but he does that. He goes to bed at 9 o'clock, he wakes up at 12 o'clock, and from midnight 12 until 6 in the morning, he chants 64 rounds. And I'm very overwhelmed, and he's my biggest inspiration. I'm feeling very inspired by him, right? So now I've also tried to do that. Okay, so now, so it's a time for self-control, and the time for awakening of all beings is night for introspective stage. So with the time when all the conditions still awaking, is considered night for sleep, right? Now, engagement in devotional service of the Lord is the life and soul of the living entity. Okay, It is the desired goal and supreme perfection of human life. One has to become confident about this, and one has to be confident that all his activity other than devotional service, such as mental speculation, fruitive work, or mystic endeavor, will never yield any enduring benefit, will never give me any kind of benefit. Complete confidence in this path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal. But attempting to follow other path will only succeed in making one restless. Now, if you not this other path, it only can create restlessness. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, one must be calmly convinced. Right? One must be calmly convinced and that those who have given up devotional service to engage in severe austerity or other purpose are not purified in their mind, despite their advanced austerity, because they have no information of the transcendent loving service of the Lord. Okay, when we must always remember, when a person already practice bhakti, then after that give this up and go into meditation and all these things, we should understand that that person is not advancing, but the person is don't have enough information of the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Okay, they are still immature. All right. Now, sometimes we can see a devotee with a good standing. Suddenly the fellow will say, no, Hare Krishna, no good. I want to go into this something else. I want to go and do meditation. So we understand, oh, the person realized something great. No, he has actually degraded. That means he still haven't got enough information of this ultimate transcendental loving service, or he has not understood enough. In further stated in 10th canto, although mental speculator and fruitive actors may perform great austerity, right? They can perform great austerity and penance. Sometimes you can see people can do all this kind of great austerity and penance, but still fall down because they do not have information about the lotus feet of Krishna. You know, whatever great people we see, if they don't have information of Krishna, there's a chance they can fall down. Mentioned in 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. A devotee of the Lord, however, never fall down. Okay, a devotee of the Lord never fall down. In Bhagavad Gita 9:31, the Supreme Lord says, Aishas Arjuna, Kaunteya Prati excuse me, Kaunteya Pratijanihi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Okay, what Krishna says, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Right? Declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So now we may wonder, well, is that true that devotee will never fall down? All right. There is a temporary stumbling only. They never fall down. What is fall down means? Can you open the window? Open the window. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So we say the temporary will sometimes only stumble. Tadumatram. In Tamil we call விழுந்து வாடுறது தடுமாறுறது. தடுமாறுறது வேற, விழுந்து வாடுறது வேற. Right? விழுந்துட்டா வாரிடுவோம். When we fall, we are hurt ourselves. Tadumatram is only stumble. You know, when we walk, suddenly we step on a rock, you know, we step on something, we stumble, but we don't fall. So that may happen. And even Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, all right, do know that even my devotee is fallen, is still perfectly situated. Okay, if of the Lord is considered you super fortunate. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. No, suddenly this is speaker changed. I don't understand.
Disturbance off and on, Prabhu.
Like what, Prabhu?
A little bit of disturbance on and off.
Like sound at my background?
Yes.
Is it?
Sometimes you wane away and then suddenly you come back.
You mean my voice or the background?
Recording.
Oh, that is maybe because of the internet, Prabhu.
This short while only, a few seconds ago. Before that, okay. Prabhu.
Oh, no, yeah, that's the thing. Because that's why suddenly I saw this thing says your speaker change, your mic change.
Yeah.
I was wondering why the mic change. Okay, anyway. So Krishna says that
even my devotee is fallen, you should understand he is perfectly situated. And after that, he also says, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. You know why? Once you become a devotee, it is something that you got the highest boon, right? You have got the greatest boon, which is very rare. But of course, we are all conditioned souls. We also have mistakes. We sometimes do make mistakes, right? Even there's a mistake and there's a fall, but Krishna says, I will still protect them. I will still, that's why to offend a devotee, even they are fallen, it is very bad, very dangerous, right? So that's why Krishna says 931, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes, right? Again in 240, Krishna says, Neha Vikramo Nashosti Pratyavayuna Vidyate Swalpamapyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bayat. Krishna says here, in this endeavor, all right, there's no loss or diminution. And little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So that means a little advancement, okay, will protect you from the most dangerous type of fear. So in this endeavor, so that means sometimes when we do something, we may fail, right? But there's no worry about it. You're going to continue. So there's not consider fallen, not consider failed. Devotional service is so pure and perfect, right? Devotional service is so pure and perfect that once having begun, now, as and my favorite thing I said, just like the fish, right? Just like the fish got hooked by caught by the hook, one is possibly dragged into ultimate success. All right. So you do not need to worry, right? Once you are in, you will be dragged. Isn't that exciting? Right? It's utsahan, right? It's a kind of excitement. You will be dragged to success, right? Ultimate. Sometimes person will give up his ordinary, okay? Sometimes people will give up his ordinary material engagement, right? And out of sentiment, take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Now, sometimes when people get carried away, oh, I'm so excited, you know, sentiment, oh, now at last I got Krishna, give up my job, suddenly become full-time devotee, right? So then what they'll do, they'll begin preliminary execution of devotional service, right? They simply start this, okay? But even in such an immature state, even if such an immature devotee falls down, all right? Suddenly, I believe, I don't know whether you've seen, but I've seen so many times. Suddenly a devotee give up, become full-time devotee, shave head, sikha, right? Come and do morning prayers, you know, act like a full-time devotee. After some time, because they're still immature, and they fall down. Sometimes, I think life as a devotional service, as a full-time devotee is not a joke. So they give up and they go out. So even if that thing happened, there's no loss on his part. Okay, there's no loss. On the other hand, what is gain of one who execute the prescribed duty according to his varna and ashram, but does not take to devotional service? Right? What is the gain when you're not engaging according to your varna ashram, according to nature? Although a fallen devotee, now Prabhupada is telling, although a fallen devotee may take his next birth in a low family, all right, maybe a fallen devotee, yeah? Next birth, they born into a very low family, like example, low caste, or into a deep village, born in a village, born to uneducated parents in a very abominable family, but his devotional service will nonetheless resume. Whatever fate, he can be born in a low family, he can even born in aborigine, he can even born in any kind of situation, but his devotional service will nonetheless resume. Where? From where he left it. Right? So devotional service is called ahaituki apratihata. Ahaituki apratihata. It is not affected by any mundane cause. Any mundane cause can never destroy the sadhana that you have performed. Even like today, you're sitting here from 9 o'clock to 11:30, right? And after this, he said, I am not going to listen to any more class. All right, I'm done. Okay, I know the truth. Then after that, you go back to your life. Until your entire life, you're done. You give up the body. In next birth, you're going to continue. From where? From high to pratihata. From this. That means you're going to continue from where you stopped. From there, you're going to continue. All right? It's not to say that it's gone. All right? So, it's not the effect of mundane cause. It's not to be terminated by any mundane cause. or permanently curtailed, or is not going to be permanently removed by any mundane interruption. Once you started, you're going to continue. You continue until you're going to become a pure devotee of the Lord. Maybe for some, this can be a final. For some, it can be a semi-final. For some, it can be a quarter-final. For some, it's just starting of that match. But still, you are already in the gameplay. The Yoga Maya is already approved. All right? Already approved. K7, your application of going back home, back to Godhead is being approved. All right? So now, what happened? It's up to you how fast you want to do it. You want to take your sweet time? Take it. Or you want to come immediately? You also can do it. All right? No, I want to take my own sweet time, relax. All right? Because there's no loss. Nothing can interrupt, right? So now is your time to make the decision how you want it to be. Therefore, devotee should be confident about his engagement. You should be very confident and should not be very interested in activities of karmi, jnani, and yogis. So he should not waste his time being interested of what these others are doing, right? So he must be very, he must be very confident that he is on a right path. There are many good qualities among fruitive actors, philosophical speculators, and even mystic yogis. But all good qualities automatically develop in the character of a devotee. Sometimes you see that some like fruitive workers, philosophy, they might have some good qualities. But all these good qualities automatically develop in a devotee. No extraneous endeavor needed. That means you do not need to struggle. You do not need to sit down and meditate. You do not need to study all the books to become an intelligent person. No need. So there's no extraneous endeavor is needed. As confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 5:18-12, it says, all the good qualities of the demigod manifest progressively in one who has developed pure devotional service. Can you imagine this? In Canto 5, chapter 18, text 12, in Srimad Bhagavatam is mentioned all the good qualities of demigods. What is demigods? Devargal. The Devargal that we are worshipping, right? So all the qualities of the Devas will manifest progressively. Of course, step by step. I don't think, oh, today I'm going to be a Deva. No. It's going to manifest progressively. Slowly it manifests in one who has developed pure devotional service. Can you imagine? It's that powerful. Because a devotee is not interested in any material activity. He does not become materially contaminated. He is immediately situated in the platform of transcendental life. However, one who engages in mundane activities, he is a so-called jnani, yogi, karmi, or whatever. Okay. Okay. He can be either so-called jnani or like Sadguru, jnani, yogi, karmi, philanthropists like building hospital, building nationalists, fight for the country, fight for this or whatever. Cannot attain the higher stage of Mahatma. We have read about Mahatma. We cannot achieve the highest stage of Mahatma. But where we stay, we remain as Duratma or the cripple-minded person. Okay? We still remain as Duratma. So according to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 9:13, Mahatma nastu mam partha daivim prakritim, again, the divine nature, ashritaha, bhajantyananya manaso, nyatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Pratha, those who are not deluded, the person who are not deluded, who are usually great souls, under the protection of divine nature, Daivi Prakritim, they are fully engaged in devotional service. Why? Because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is original and inexhaustible. Okay? Or inexhaustible. So since all devotees of the Lord under the protection of Supreme Potency, now let's look at it. This is something that even boosts your enthusiasm. All right. This statement even boosts our enthusiasm. That is, since all the devotees under the protection of his supreme potency. What devotee? All devotee. Is he talking about a newcomer devotee? Is he talking about ultimate advanced devotee? Or is Prabhupada speaking about pure devotee? Or is he talking about fallen devotee? Right? What devotee is talking about? this word. Please take your book and underline this statement. Underline this statement. Or take a photo, snapshot, and keep it. And later you underline it. All right? You underline. All right? So underline the qualities. Underline these things. So since all devotees of the Lord, everything, under the protection of supreme potency. So even you are advanced, you are a beginner, you are a fallen, or you are a devotee who just like touch and go, you are under the protection of Daivi Prakriti, the divine nature. Are you all following me this? If you're following me this, please put a thumbs up, because this is something I am feeling very enthusiastic and excited to talk about this. Right. 2 people are following. Good. K7. Then another one is Sheila. Okay, great. How about others? Do you follow what I'm saying? Bunes, great. Right? So we are all under the protection. We must believe in that. We must be very, very enthusiastic. Oh, Gandhi Mataji, thank you. Okay, so when you asked a question, okay, answer that later. All right. So all the devotees under the protection of supreme potency. Yes, Charana Lakshmi Mataji. Charana Lakshmi Mataji, you want to say something? Or you supposed to put thumbs up, you raised your hand.
Just thumbs up only, and following your rules, following the rules, that's all.
Oh, okay. You're supposed to put thumbs up. Okay. Thank you. All right, now. So since all the devotees, doesn't matter, under the protection of divine, of the supreme potency. So we have no time to envy anyone. And we have no time to think that we are great. And no time to compare. There's no comparison studies. Even the person is fallen or even the person is very advanced, we all must remember that all of them under the protection of the supreme potency, Daivi Prakriti. Okay? And they should not deviate from the path of devotional service and take path of karmi, jnani, and yogi. So since they are under the protection of that, they should not deviate. They should not come out of this path and go into that mundane path of karmi. The fruitive workers, jnani, the mental speculator, Mayavadi, and all these like Buddhist jnani, Jains and all these people, or yogi, like this Sadguru and all these bogus yogis. We should not take into that path. Because we are already on the path. We are already under the parameter. Krishna has already approved your group insurance. All right? So the Daivi Prakriti is like a group insurance. When you work in a company, they give you a group insurance. Right? When you come to work or you leave the work, anywhere in the workplace, anywhere in that environment, you met an accident or something happened, your children and your health is taken care. Like that, he has already approved that executive order that when this person comes in, that everybody is under this protection. All right? Until Yamaraj warned Yamaduta, don't approach a person who has a tilak. Don't approach a person who has kantimala. Don't approach a person who worships Tulasi. Don't approach a person who chants the holy name of the Lord. If you want to do that, tell me first. So you will see, right? Tell me first, right? So when we are there, of course, we do not take the path of karmi, jnani, and yogi. Okay, maybe jnani and yogi, we don't have access, right? To become a jnani and yogi is something maybe only possible maybe in India. But in Malaysia, we don't have that access. But karmi, we have a big access, right? Okay, like enough of this, okay? Okay, I've done my, example like, what people advise me. I've been doing this for the last 5 months. We started at 5 months, Gita Gyan, and now we're going to continue this. And then I was thinking, okay, why not? I just finish this Nectar of Instruction, then go into Bhakti Aloka and do Bhagavad Gita. Then after that, after the Nectar of Instruction, Bhakti Aloka, then maybe I want to go and do something else. I want to go and do my job. I want to travel back to Johor and I want to start back my business, blah, 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 blah. That is, we have that access. So that's why Krishna says in our previous text to maintain wherever you are, be happy with whatever you have, and engage your mind in your higher service. So now this is called, and this is what they call Utsaha Nischayat Dhairyat Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat. Enthusiastically, all right, enthusiastically executing the regulative activities of devotional service with patience and confidence. Why we need to rush? Like, see, some people rushing as though tomorrow they're going to go back home, back to Godhead. Right? They are rushing as though that Vishnu Dutta is coming to fetch them tomorrow. Come on. This is a journey. Right? Sometimes we start to because we must understand there's patience and confidence. You just need to have confidence and patience because you know what, you're guaranteed. Right? Say, like, if you're an American citizen stuck in Afghanistan, you need to be very confident about the American system and also be patient for the chopper to come and save you. Yes or not? You do not need to be very agitated. When the helicopter coming, is it a bird? Is it a plane? Oh no, it's not a helicopter yet. Alama. You don't need, just be patient. Because we are already there. But being enthusiastic in following the regulative principle, because regulative principle is going to be quite troublesome. Waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, chanting 16 rounds. Alama. But be enthusiastic. Why not? Why not? Right? Why not? You know, it's good to follow the regulative principle. It's good to wake up early in the morning. It's so exciting to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You know, it's that. So be very motivated. In this way, one can advance in devotional service without hindrance. So now I understand. In order for me to become successful in devotional service, I have to do this. Why not? I just do it. Why not? Is it worth the effort? Definitely it's worth the effort. Right? Is it worth the time? Definitely it's worth the time. And you start to see how your life transforms. At first, we all became a devotee just for the sake of chant Hare Krishna and be happy. We are always struggling in this wilderness of material existence, right? We are all suffering and, oh, why my life? Why my life? Oh, we are struggling. We are working so hard. But now we came above that. Now we are not bothered about all this. We are so enthusiastic. Now I know the way to be happy. Now, how am I supposed to go back home, back to Godhead is my ultimate goal of life. Okay. So with that, we end the session here. It's exactly 11:30 as predicted. 11, okay, so worship by 6 minutes. Thank you so much for your time. Now we take questions. All right, there's a question here. Hare Krishna Prabhu, what are the example of good qualities of demigods? Demigods have the good qualities means like what? Right? They have the patience, they have the beauty, they have all that auspicious thing. Right? Alagar Sami, right? Like Lord Murugan is called as Alagar. Okay, he's a very handsome, very good looking, right? And Lord Ganapati is very renounced, but Ganesh is very renounced. All right, that's why we worship him as Guru. All right, what do you call that? Vinay Tirpavan, the one who removes all obstacles because he's so pure. The one who is so pure only can remove all obstacles. So like that, this is some of the good qualities of the Devas. Okay. What is the best devotional service is according to your nature, Mataji. Sheila Mataji, according to your nature. So what is your nature? All right, think about it. All right, so what is your nature? Example, if your nature, okay, may I know what you're working as, Sheila? What are you working as? Okay, you are with security firm, right? So when you are in security firm, so now you think, how are you going to utilize, all right, your natural talent? All right, sometimes, okay, now I give you an example. A person is qualified to do something else, but they're doing something else. So what in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna explains, a lot Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, simply use your talent. What is your talent? And use it for Krishna. If Sheila, if you love to sing a lot, if you got a good voice, you love to sing for Krishna. All right? If you think you have a skill of making garland, make a beautiful garland for Krishna. If you think that you can sew a nice clothes, if you're a good tailor, you can sew a nice clothes for Krishna. Okay. If you think that you love to speak, you are a very oratory person. That means you love to talk to people. All right. Go and speak about Krishna. All right. If you have a natural tendency of salesmanship, distribute Krishna's book, Bhagavad Gita. But that is something that's standard for everyone. Even you have the skill for distributing books or not, it's always highly recommended that everyone to distribute books. So basically, use your talent for Krishna. And there's no such thing, a great service or lousy service. All right? Hanuman carried a huge boulder to build a bridge for Ram. But at the same time, the squirrel only brought a small pebble. Okay, in Ramayana, the squirrel was there. The squirrel was just pushing a small pebble because the squirrel couldn't do anything. So the pebble, he just tried to push the pebble into the thing, thinking that he also helping Ram to create the bridge. And Hanuman says, "Get away before you get stabbed." You know, when we are throwing, when Lord Ram saw that, and Lord Ram became so satisfied, so happy, he took that squirrel and he started to like, you know, that scratch his back. Can you imagine such a little service of throwing the pebble into the ocean, and that squirrel got a chance to be like, you know, what is the word they call? On the back. Okay, Lord Ram. So when we talk about spiritual devotional service, there's nothing great or nothing not great. When we start to do this kind of comparative, that's when we get into trouble. Okay, I'm cooking for Krishna. My service is the best service. No. I'm going and distributing books. I'm converting people to Hare Krishna. My service is better. Hey, no. I am sitting and worshipping the Lord in the altar. My service is even better than any of you. No, please do not do any kind of comparative when it comes to service. Whatever service, it can be great or it can be very insignificant. The benefit or the thing is all the same. There's no such thing great and great service or not great service. But one thing standard that you all have to follow, but one standard service that we all have to perform is to chant 16 rounds daily. We have to chant. We cannot compromise. Oh, I'm doing a fantastic deity worship. Okay, I'm performing a very nice deity worship. All right. So I'm doing a fantastic deity worship to the. I'm doing a fantastic deity worship. So I have no time to chant. I'm going and distributing books. I have no time to chant. No, you shouldn't do that. Your basic standard sadhana that you have to perform on a daily basis to chant 16 rounds without fail. All right. Oh, I'm very busy. So what Prabhupada says, if you cannot chant your 16 rounds, don't even sleep, don't even eat. All right. Just like if you have hypertension or diabetic, you have to take your medicine on a daily basis, no matter what. You cannot say one day I can take a break. No such thing. You have to go. Like that, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord has to go on a daily basis. And there's no break for it. Like some they say, today I miss, tomorrow I'll continue. No. Right? For instance, if you're doing a muscle, all right, say like for instance, you are sick and the doctor give you medicine, okay, for 3 days. Every 3 hours, every morning, afternoon, evening, you take this, you drink this cough mixture this much, you take this Panadol this much. It's a 3 days period. We cannot take the whole entire Panadol and drink the entire cough mixture thinking that once I drink, I can be cured. Why I need to wait for 3 days? It doesn't work that way. It has to be continuous. It has to go on an installment basis, on a continuous basis, because we are not allowing our mind, our this thing to get diverted. Chanting 16 rounds is a must on a daily basis. All right. And of course, waking up early in the morning for Mangalarti and reading the Bhagavad Gita is a must. So RDC formula is a must. Read every day, distribute Prabhupada's book and chant Hare Krishna is a must. And you have a question of how to distribute books to non-devotees. How to distribute books, you will be inspired from your heart. All right. Are you the one from Nibong Tubal, right? Susila. Is it Susila or? Okay, you are from Nibong Tubal. All right, you have that, what do you call? What is the name? Gopa Krishna, right? So, and Mahabhakti, they are all a good book distributors. You can go and associate with them. You can learn from them. You can join them. First, go as a team. Okay, first you go as a team to at least to create your thing. Say like for instance, Vivan Manikam. You see the boy there, Vivan Manikam. When he first started, he started with me and another Prabhu from South Africa. Okay, his name is Gopa Kumar Das. South American brahmachari, South African guy and myself. We took Vivan and went and preached in. We went and tried doing book distribution in Sungai Siput area. We tried. Right after after I think we did for 1 hour. Even the nature can't tolerate. It started raining, but Vivan took it. Vivan took the taste. So now Vivan and along with his best buddy, his childhood friend Kesavan. And there's a Prabhu called Pundri Kaksham. And all three of them are going on a Sankirtan on a daily basis on Sunday evening. So first, start with your friends first. Start with a fellow devotee. All right. So follow them. How you're going to do it is something is not your attempt. Do remember that. Krishna has already selected someone to receive that Bhagavad Gita. Always remember that. That's the rules of Sankirtan. Krishna have already prepared someone to receive that Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna selected you personally to distribute the Bhagavad Gita to him. Can you imagine, Sheila? You are the chosen one that you're going to give that Bhagavad Gita to that particular person. And imagine what we can understand from here. Krishna is paying attention to you. That is what makes the Sankirtan devotee crazy excited. You know, if anyone have done Sankirtan, all right, like Rajina Mataji, all, I think she all have done. This is something that's so addictive. If you ask me personally, okay, now I spoke on a very surface level. There's no bhakti, you know, nothing, everything is equal. But in my personal fanatism, excitement, enthusiasm, fanatically, I believe Sankirtan is the topmost devotional service. Alamak, this is recorded, Krishna. Oh boy. Okay, those who are listening to the record, this is my personal opinion. Being a fanatic book distributor, fanatics, okay? I am a fanatic. Nothing can be more exciting than this thing. That's why I named my eldest girl Sankirtana. All right? And all my children, I train them to go and distribute books. It's so exciting and Prabhupada loves it so much. Right? So, see, I got carried away. Thank you, Mataji. So sorry. And okay, Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, I saw you raise your hand just now. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, you want to say something?
Prabhu, how do you know that the Lord Ram stroked the squirrel?
How do I know what?
You said Lord Ram was very impressed with the squirrel and stroked the squirrel.
It's Ramayana, Prabhu. Ramayana.
But you see a squirrel, how do you realize it?
No, this what they call Hanuman will
No, Prabhu. No. That all is, you know, in India is very commonly, even a child will answer this question. You see a squirrel, you can see 3 stripes at the back of the squirrel. No, Prabhu.
Oh, the 3 stripe.
Yeah, that is the
there's some people say because of Lord Ram
stroking.
stroke the back. Yes, Lord Ram stroked the back. That's how the thing came like tilak.
Yeah,
right. That one I don't know, Prabhu. I don't want to speculate because it's a species.
And it's not. I mean, we see squirrels everywhere in the hostel. No, Prabhu comes at the room everywhere. So we all say the 3 stripes is because Lord Ram stroked the squirrel.
Yes, understand. Because that's sentiment. And anyway, if that can make people to be Ram conscious, why not? When they look at it, like people look at monkey, they remember Hanuman.
Yeah.
They remember the Vanara Padai, you know, Vanara, the monkey soldiers. Right, just like that. So people are naturally, Indians wants to be Krishna conscious in many aspects. So they look at monkey, Hanuman, you know. When like last time when we were young, my parents used to train us, when we see cow, we call it Lakshmi. Right? So whenever we're young, when we travel, we see cows by the roadside, hey, Lakshmi, all of us pray. We don't understand what. Because my parents all believe that Lakshmi, cow, is mother of fortune. So if anyone can get look at the squirrel and become Ram conscious, why not? But because he stroked the back and the thing 3 line, I have no idea, Prabhu.
No, it's just a saying.
Exactly. No, because sometimes Indians also can be very sentimental. Okay, anyone else? Thank you so much for your time. Today is Egadasi, Sattila Egadasi, right? On this Egadasi, we have utilized the time. You know, we have used until afternoon. Okay, consider like discussing a 2.5 hours solid discussion on Krishna Katha, especially on the teachings of Nectar of Instruction on text 3. You know, it's very auspicious to talk. You know, and also my gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Then again, we're going to discuss on verse 4, right? The verse 4 is going to be even more interesting. Okay, what is the verse 4? Okay, Dadati Pratiknati. Guhyam Akyati Prichati Bhungte Bojayati Chaiva Satvidam Priti Lakshanam. Offering gifts in charity. Then what is the relationship between a devotee with another devotee? Now we understand that. Okay, first we understand about what are the activities you should control yourself. Second is what will spoil your bhakti. And number 3 is what will improve your bhakti. And especially utsahan, enthusiasm is very important. And now text 4 is Srila Rupa Goswami will be explaining how should be your relationship with another devotee. All right, how loving relationship you should have with your own other devotee. That will be on Monday. So I think on Monday it's also a very long purport. Okay, I think it's not so much. Okay, so we'll try to finish it in a day. So again, we meet again on Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Till then, have a beautiful weekend. Those who are in Ipoh, please come and join our Sunday program tomorrow. And also there's a Sunday program is happening in Todu. And in Todu tomorrow, on the 2nd, they're having a Pushya Abhishek. If those who are living somewhere near Penang area, don't miss to go to Todu, which is in Seberang Perai, where they're going to Abhishek. They're going to bury Krishna with flowers. Tons of flowers they're going to take and they're going to like throw on him until the whole Krishna will be covered with flowers. It's Pushya Abhishek. It's going to be very auspicious. And those who are around KL area also don't miss it, because I heard in KL also they are doing that. And in KL there is and on the 3rd, all right, on Monday, and I think it's on Tuesday and Sunday on KL, they are also celebrating Srila what they call Narasingha's Bhakti Vigna Vinasa Narasimha Swami, our Maharaj Swamiji, Prabhupada disciple, who is preaching in China from England. His appearance day, Vyasa Puja, his birthday, they are celebrating in KL, and also on Monday in Todu. All right, those who are people who are nearby, don't miss that opportunity to go and worship the Lord in the association with the devotee. And in Ipoh, we're going to start the program as usual at 10 o'clock and continue by class and lunch. All right. Till then, have a beautiful day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyavacha paditanam pavinebhyo vaishnave bhayo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day.